Uh, can you make... I'll make the announcement on Discord, because I'm not sharing my screen for once.
I can do it on my phone.
I got it.
Okay. Is the volume for the game good?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Cool. To me it is.
Also, I'm taking care of my shrimps in the lab. They're still preliminary though, so they're not like my actual shrimp that I'll be analyzing.
I was gonna say, you said Artemia. That's just brine shrimp, right?
Yeah, so I'm keeping
about?
grass shrimp, Paleomon pugio in the lab, and then I'm feeding them live brine shrimp, Artemia.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So I have both. But,
I thought you meant the Artemia, because, yeah, that's what I used to feed the jellyfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just exhausting though, because I have to go in like every single day, because if I don't, they'll cannibalize each other.
Yup. It's a fun time.
Every single day. I don't get a day off anytime soon.
Alright, the announcement's been made. Krax has arrived. Let's
Krax.
get started.
Oh, we're not D&Ding. I can have the chat up in the background.
Now we're back to the music that lives in my head. I wouldn't say, like, I don't use that, like, I try not to use meme phrases constantly. I find it, you know, uncreative. But this actually does live in my head rent-free, as they say.
Rent-free?
Like, this is my entire, this music is like
as
my...
the kids say these days.
Yeah, as the kids say, you know. This plus like the Sims Create a Sim music. Those two together, that's my whole music.
Yeah, that sometimes lives in my head too.
The Sims 2 one specifically, of course, because you know that's where I live.
I don't think I've had any music stuck in my head recently. Maybe it's because I started those new meds that are not officially FDA approved for ADHD, but it can still kind of work. So.
Is that what your psychiatrist is prescribing you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you know everybody's like,
that's the important part.
ADHD medications because you're just trying to get drugs, and I'm like, no, I think I actually have ADHD.
Yes. Yes, I've pretended to have depression for years, just so I could get my hands on that sweet Zoloft.
Exactly. That sweet Zoloft.
Sweet SSRI.
Love that. And then I don't know what other class this is. It's called Buprion?
Oh, yeah. No, it sounds like it, but I've heard of that one, Shannon.
Buprion.
Yeah. It smells like rotten eggs.
What happens when you give an Eevee antidepressant?
That means that it has sulfur in it.
Buprion.
Yes.
It's got hydrochloric acid.
Antidepressant.
It has a hydrochloric acid.
So does sertraline.
Oh yeah, but my sertraline doesn't smell like eggs. Or maybe not rotten eggs, just eggs in general.
This is horrible.
Well, actually, I don't know what sertraline actually does. It just like it says HCl on the container, but that might mean something else.
Yeah, I think Krax is right. You should just stop smelling the drugs. I think that's that's the solution for all of these.
I mean, sometimes it's not up to you.
Do not sniff the drugs. You are not a drug sniffing dog.
You don't know me. Now, Rebecca, shall we tell the people of the saga of Sunday night?
Oh yes, we shall. So, the people, Krax being the people right now, because Tim said he would maybe make it later. We'll see. But currently, Krax, you get the story. So clearly, I am in a new abode.
Up AOB in the meantime.
This is my new apartment. The walls are taupe colored. It's instead of white. So
I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm working on the decor. But anyway.
Rebecca, do you remember when you and sorry, off topic?
Is about
my
the word
ADHD,
taupe?
real quick.
Is it this?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do you
That's
remember
why
you and I
it.
having an?
This is why I use the
Do
word.
you know why you and I have? Yeah, we had an argument, full blown, that taupe wasn't a color, right?
I forget. Was it that taupe wasn't?
It's not
a
creative.
No, that I was.
I
Like,
refuse.
no,
like
I said taupe was like a gray, and you were like it's a brown or
it's
something
like a brown
that.
gray situation. It's
yeah.
It's this in my. Well, I think it's. In the camera view of this is lighter than the actual like color. When in person, it looks more taupe than when I'm looking in my camera.
Yeah, right now it looks kind of.
It's like a dark beige in the camera, but like in person, it's grayer. But yeah, we had this whole argument about what taupe was. Anyway,
yeah,
I do remember that, and so every time I say the word taupe, I think of you.
I've also forgotten though what each of our arguments were, what it was about, but I do find it funny.
I don't remember why we were arguing about this.
Taupe makes me think of you, Rebecca.
I'm so glad.
Taupe.
Anyway, so moving on. So I'm in my new apartment. Sienna visited me because she can do that because she lives an hour away from me now, as opposed to 6 or 7 hours away, like it was a week ago.
Or even just when you were in Jersey, you're still 2.5 hours away.
So
it's so exciting.
She visited me on Sunday, and so I live on the second floor of this of a house. Basically, it's like a split level house, and I live on the second floor of it, and.
It's a duplex.
It's a duplex, right. And there's like a fire escape, sort of, out the back door. It is a fire escape, but it's not like city kind where you have to pull down a ladder and stuff. It's like actually just stairs.
It's just metal stairs.
And so that's how I tend to enter and exit my apartment, is through the fire escape instead of through the front door, because it's easier, even though the fire escape stairs are... very steep. They're not regulation. Anyway, they're probably regulations fire escape. I don't know. But they're very like higher than they are wide, and that's not good. Anyway, so it was a big leg workout taking stuff up those stairs to move in. But anyway,
so you're good for this whole week then?
Good for this whole year, man. I moved my apartment. I lived on the 3rd floor before and had to move all the stuff into the moving van. Now I live on the 2nd floor and had to move it out of the moving van. I lifted a couch, so I'm good. Anyway,
I did see the Snapchat of that.
Yeah, that happened.
Proud of you.
I did not take it down the stairs, I will admit. I got some men to do it for me. But I supervised. So anyway, so Sienna was there and was leaving down the fire escape.
I set up her fish tank,
though. She did. I had Sienna set up my fish tank because I didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the right person for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, she was excited, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like it. It's gross. You do it." I say, as I've done this many times.
I don't get to do enough aquatic stuff anymore, so.
If you want to just come over and clean my fish tank. Anyway, yeah, no, but.
I might take you up on it. I miss fish.
I will pay you $1.
You could pay me in just, like, food.
That works too. I will buy you food. I will buy you a donut.
Yeah. Sure. Yes, that will work.
Okay. So.
Pay her in gum. Pay me in gum.
So anyway, Sienna, why don't you tell the people?
All right. So I'm walking down Rebecca's steps, and it's the fire escape steps. They're the metal ones. So, and I know that they're not regulation. So, so I'm being extra careful on those. Then I get to the, like, kind of porch level, where then it turns into just, like, they're cement stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm on the porch is when Rebecca's lights go off.
Yeah, because I accidentally
I was
them
okay
off.
with this part. But that was okay. Because I was like, oh, okay. So they turned off before I got to the stairs. I was just on the porch. So I was like, okay, so I'll just either now I have to be really careful, or I'll just, hope they turned back on if they were like motion sensor.
Mhm.
Yeah, accidentally.
Yeah.
And and there's like 3 steps, and I miss one, trip on the second, and hit my shin on the edge of the third, and then hit my knees on the asphalt pavement. It hurt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Yeah, and then
Sienna.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Just the fact that you hurt yourself.
Yeah, and then I'm
Lost a fight with gravity.
yeah, I did, and then I was like, just on the ground, started to be actually a little scared because I assumed that Rebecca probably couldn't see me, so she didn't know that I fell. And I was like, am I gonna call her? How bad is this? Can I just go? And then Rebecca comes back out because she's like, oh, I'm sorry, the light turned off. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't the reason, but something else happened.
Yeah, I really thought I had caused you to fall down the stairs,
No.
so I'm glad that's not what happened.
Oh man.
Yeah, no.
That would have sucked.
It was just me. And so I was like, oh, this really hurts. But I was like, I think I could go to work.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't tell anyone so I didn't I mentioned it to my parents when I got home, but like I was like, I didn't call my supervisor at that moment because I was like, well, it's late, but also I think I'll be fine tomorrow.
I would
Not
like to
fine,
point out that what it looked like was
There we
here,
go.
here and here on her. Whoa, don't look at my foot.
I'm doing fast
But like
forward so
here
I can
and here
level up
on her
quickly.
leg were just totally black and blue when I saw her. Like totally upper shin and bottom and like I get right near the ankle, totally like black and blue
Yeah.
and bleeding. It was bad.
Oh,
I thought she had like
really bad.
twisted it.
I came back. Yeah, no, there was like a dent in my shin cracks.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
There still kind of is. But yes, that's been the saga of my week because Monday I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I can lead a nature camp and hike today.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably be fine tomorrow.
Of course.
The next day, all right, I'll be fine. I'll try to take it easy. I'll rest. I get home from work on Tuesday and my leg is really swollen,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
including my foot. And I'm like, this is probably not good. So then I have a conversation with my parents where I try to decide between going to urgent care and going to my scuba class.
Oh my god. Yes, what
It
a
is.
choice.
And my parents were like, well, you can still walk on it, and ultimately this has to be your decision. And I was like, yeah, I mean, the urgent care is open after my scuba class gets out, so like, she's like, all right, so my mom's like, all right, so this is a decision on whether you want to go to urgent care now and probably miss scuba, or go to scuba and go to urgent care after. And I was like, I'll go to scuba. And then I like looked at my leg and was like,
Or don't.
I shouldn't go to scuba.
Oh.
And
I mean,
so
that's you should go get it checked out. Like
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
So I went to the doctor. I went to urgent care, and they were like, and they took X-rays, and they're like, it's not broken. It's just really bruised and swollen. I was like, that's fantastic. I work at a nature center where I have to lead hikes for camp kids.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, you maybe shouldn't hike so much. And I was like, and so Wednesday and Thursday go.
What did your work did your work allow you not to hike?
Well, I mean, I just said like, oh, I'm fine. I just have to keep it like elevated.
Right.
I Wednesday I I, was really chill with it, I guess, and I tried not to aggravate it. And then Thursday, it just still wasn't great. And I went to scuba that night, but it was in class, so I wasn't in the pool, so I wasn't doing anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night, it just didn't look right. Like, it was still, like, really swollen in certain places and, like,
Mm-hmm.
a little discolored and stuff, and it didn't look right. So I stayed home today, and I made an appointment. Tried to go to the doctor today, couldn't go. I went to um, I called my regular doctor, and um, got an appointment for Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I've pretty much had it up all day.
That's good that you're giving it a rest, at least, finally.
Yeah, I'm finally listening to doctor's advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Oh, but I
Oh,
passed
man.
my written test. I passed my written scuba test.
Nice.
So, happy about that.
Alright.
It's a little red cracks. That's what I was worried about.
What does red mean for a bruise? I don't injure myself that often.
Because it's not just a bruise. It's the scratches around it.
Huh. Oh, would red mean infected then? Is that what? Oh,
Yeah, I would
okay.
assume. I mean,
Yeah, it's.
again,
yeah.
I've had it up pretty much. So.
Mhm.
Oh, red is the formation of new bruises, which means you still have bleeding.
Ew, that's not great. Definitely don't want that.
All right. Well, I made an appointment for Monday, so I will still be keeping that whether I feel better or not.
Good idea.
But
Crazy.
yeah.
Remy the Ratatouille. Rat upon my dreams.
Is that from the Ratatouille musical?
Yeah.
Well, so you want to hear my saga this week about? I've already complained about this so much to so many
Yes.
people, but I think I've already told you, Sienna. It's the whole thing about the cleaning company.
Oh, I still
Yeah.
want to hear it again.
Okay.
It's the drama.
Okay. All right. Ready? Let's go. So,
Yes.
as part of my lease in quotes, because it's not actually in my lease. It's not. I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure it's not in my lease. But my property management company for my old apartment said that I was required to hire a cleaning crew to clean the apartment because the apartment has to look exactly how I found it, essentially. Like, or else I get to pay for that. Which is apparently, according to my dad, not normal. I don't know if that's true. Everyone I've spoken to before, every person I've spoken to who's lived in an apartment has said that this is weird. So, I don't know. That, like, yeah, if you stick a hole, if you like,
normal.
you know, destroy the apartment, of course you have to pay from your security deposit or whatever. But, like, this was that if there's, you know, the slightest bit of issue, I have to pay for it. Which includes, yes, the paint that I peeled from the walls because command strips suck. Because they told me I wasn't allowed to stick thumbtacks in the walls, so I used command strips. The command strips peeled the paint off the walls, and so I started using thumbtacks anyway because they did less damage. Which I'm gonna have to pay for anyway because they're gonna have to fill those holes. But, and I have to pay for them to repaint where the paint peeled. Also have to pay for them to replace part of the carpet where I spilled some green nail polish, and I got most of it off, but it looks like a highlighter stain. So, but the actual kicker. So that all I basically was prepared for. I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna have to pay for this stuff. That's just how it is. It's stupid, and it's apparently not how it's supposed to be, or not supposed to, but like not how it's is for normal people. But anyway, what I have to complain about is that when for the like I'm contractually obligated, which once again I don't actually think that I am, but they told me at the end that I was, to hire a maid service, and so I'm obligated to hire both a carpet cleaning service and a maid service. The carpet cleaning service is like one where, I don't know, maybe they have a contract with them because they require me to hire this one specific company. And I'm just like, is that legal to require me to get this one specific company to do it? I can't like shop around, which is fine because it took away the decision from me because I didn't feel like making the decision, and they seem competent and they can't complain because if they did a bad job, it's the company that they're contracted to, I guess. I don't know, but whatever. So get the steam cleaners, that's all fine. I have to pay for it, but it's all fine. It's like $150. I'm like, whatever. It's less than I thought it would be, all things considered. So, but the cleaning thing, basically, they sent me this email like a month before I was leaving saying like, here's the requirements for the move out cleaning, and it basically implies that I need to hire someone. I'm pretty sure it acted as if I really needed to hire someone, but it also gives like specifications if I didn't hire someone, and it says, and I quote, "When we say clean, we simply mean every square inch of every surface of every appliance and wall and ceiling and floor have to be as clean as possible," or something like that. Like, it literally used the word simply and then every square inch of every in the same sentence, and I was just like, you're being sarcastic and I don't approve of it. Like, as much as I love sarcasm, I don't like it when it's in a professional email to me about you telling me I am being forced to hire someone to do it because you don't think that I can clean it well enough. Okay, so I simply had to hire someone to do it because I'm not good enough to clean it myself, even though I think I probably could have, but ain't nobody got time for that, to be the meme queen that I was earlier, so, Anyway, memes from 10 years ago, but whatever. So I go looking for this cleaning company, right? I start with basically the most known cleaning service, which is Merry Maids, I think is the name of like one that's just everywhere. Like, I think that one's everywhere. It's the first thing that comes up on Google, I've seen their ads on YouTube. And man, my camera keeps freezing.
Oh, jeez.
And I have to keep unplugging it and plugging it back in. It's so annoying. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Okay, as you're doing that, I don't seem to have cut the HM cut, and I thought I had it.
Okay.
So now I need to figure out what's wrong.
Where are we supposed to get it?
I don't know. I thought I had it already.
I don't know. You want me to Google it?
Gotta
I'll
go
Google
shake
it.
down Erica?
Yeah, I should probably Google it.
Crack said, well, gotta go shake down
Is
Erica.
Erica the gym?
Wait, Erica is, yeah, we haven't even gotten there yet.
The gym leader?
Thank you. I wanted to call her the gym master, and that was incorrect. And then I looked at the word gym. I looked at the gym, and it just said gym, and I was like, that's not it either, but that's what I'm gonna call it. They're the gym.
Is that what? I was so sure we had it already. Well, let's go catch our next Pokemon and see what we get.
Google, but and then I will get back to what I was saying. Taking a brief intermission. What is this? Pokemon Red Cut.
Let's see what we get.
Acquire the SS and go to the ship.
Cut is in Vermilion City.
Yeah, you have to go to the SS Anne.
Oddish!
I love Oddish. Oddish. It's so cute.
Jeez, we have to go all
Alright,
the way
come on,
onto SS Anne to get cut? To get our first HM? That's crazy. That's so far away.
Wow.
Do we have an Oddish?
No, we don't.
Sweet.
Which is why I'm excited. I love Oddish.
I do too.
Vileplume was one of my
And
faves.
in this emulate,
and
it looks like a little goth.
It does look goth because it's like black.
Because it's black.
But it looks happy.
It's
a happy goth.
I know, that's the best kind.
An Oddish! New Pokemon! Now we gotta come up with a name.
So Oddish turns into Gloom, which turns into Vileplume. Gloom is pretty goth, let's be real. Gloom, like,
that is true.
But once again, yeah, Vileplume was always one of my favorites.
What about Violet?
Yeah, Violet.
That sounds like a very goth name.
I learned
and it's Vileplume, Violet, the Vileplume.
Or Violence.
Violent?
Violence!
Yeah, Violence. There you go.
Violence.
Oh.
Love it.
Not a phase.
Wait, violent or violence?
I like with a CE.
Yeah.
Violence.
I said not a phase. Like, no spaces.
That's good too.
Y'all, we got our new Pokemon. Look at it. It looks like an angry flower.
It does look like just an angry flower. Violence.
Jeez, those sprites are so
love
silly.
The idea. I just love
okay. So, like,
that
when I
it's
look
just
at
this happy little Oddish named Violence.
Yeah.
When I look at baseball and Bernie Sand, I keep thinking, oh, we have Rhyhorn or Rhydon in our park.
Yeah.
And then Renly, I'm like, oh, we have a Tauros. When did we get that?
Yeah, these sprites are not very accurate. Not really. Or not very precise, I guess.
Such as the first generation.
Yeah.
Gen 1 is something else. Indeed, Craft. Indeed.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, you have to get to the SS Anne in Vermilion City to get cut.
Okay.
Okay, so, to continue my story. Alright, so I call Merry Maids. And, or I don't call, I email actually, but whatever. And I set up an appointment where this representative is going to come and give me an estimate. She's going to come to my apartment and make an estimate of what it's going to cost to do a move-out cleaning of the place. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she's supposed to come in a week. The day that she's supposed to show up, she doesn't. She just never shows up. And so I email her and I'm like, are you coming later? What's going on? Never get a response. And after she doesn't respond to me once and didn't show up, I was like, I'm not going to use this. Like, I'm not going to pursue this because clearly you're unprofessional. So I call another place. Next place. It's now like only 2.5 weeks or something until I'm moving. So
guys, AOB is evolving.
Ooh.
AOB.
Ooh. It's evolving into
our
Beedrill.
second Beedrill, because our first one died. It was so sad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
AOB.
Yay,
AOB.
Beedrill. I love Beedrill.
And you don't learn it. So you still only have Harden. Ugh. Is EXP share in this game?
No, I don't think. And my camera froze again. What the heck is up with my camera today?
Ugh. Well, I'm going to continue raising AOB until it learns an actual attacking move. Because I want it to be able to hold its own.
Man, I fixed my internet problems I got a new, I use Verizon now instead of Comcast because I moved, and it's so much faster. I have upload speeds out the wazoo. We should never have buffering issues again, and now my camera just decides to break. So it's always something.
It's always going to be something.
But anyway, okay, so it's now like 2.5 weeks until until I'm moving. And so I'm running real low on, options for the, running real low on options for what to do about this cleaning company because people move in the summer and so, they're kind of booked. And so I call one place, they get back to me real quick, sound really nice. Would have loved to work with them because they got back to me so quickly and sounded professional and they were booked up. and so I couldn't use them. So I found a third place, and so here's the third one. Here's how this goes. This is the one. So, I go to their website, and it seems to be just like a local company, I think. Like, I don't think it's like a big company the way Merry Maids was. I think it's just in my town. And so I go to their website, and it says to like enter my information and what I need and all that, and then they will email me to schedule a phone call. And I'm like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. And so I put in my information. I get an email like an hour later or something asking, can I call now? That's the whole email. It just basically says, can I call now? And I'm like, sure. Yes, now is a good time. Several hours later, like 4 hours later, I get a text message. This text message says, sorry, I got busy. What can we help you with? Or, no, wait. Sorry, I got busy. Is now a good time? Or something like that. And I'm like, yes. And then they say, what can I help you with? And I'm just like, who is this? Like, they never introduced themselves, so I wasn't even, I guessed it was Blue, the cleaning company. I don't want to say their name, but I guessed it was that cleaning company. But they never said their name. They just said, what can I help you with? And so I literally say, I'm sorry, who is texting me? And then she introduces herself, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need a move-out cleaning, and for my apartment, and so she tells me like the rates, which are, money, and I'm like, okay, and I say, these are the dates I say like the date that I'm moving and a range of dates that would work, which includes like I have to.
AOB learns Fury Attack. Yay!
Woo!
So it's not a one-man show, Cracks, and you will see what I mean by that. But anyway, so she's just in charge of communication, and she shouldn't be. But anyway, so I'm trying to find this text chain.
She's in charge of lack of communication.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'll get into that later, but anyway, so okay. So she asks when I'm moved out, and I say I'll be moving out on the 24th. And I say, but the cleaning has to be done by the 27th, because that's when my lease is up. I'm required to have everything done by the 27th. And she just says, no problem. And I wait a little bit, and I'm like, no, okay, so when? Like, you can't just say no problem and end the conversation there. That's not how this works. And so I respond saying, which date will work? And she says, 26th. And I'm like, good for you. Glad that works for you. You didn't tell me a time. You didn't give me any details. I'm just like, okay. Well, I'm having my carpets steamed on that day. Can you work around that? And they're like, no, we should come first. I'm like, okay, well then it's a good thing you told me a date so I could tell you that day doesn't work. Anyway, so I basically say, okay, well how about you come on Friday the 23rd? I can move. I'm supposed to move on Saturday, but like I could get my boxes situated so that you can get to the wall. Basically, I say I will move my boxes away from the walls, etc., so that you can get to the stuff that needs to be cleaned. And she's just like, yes, Friday works. And I'm like, So you're still not going to tell me the time or anything.
What time?
And so I'm just like, I don't trust this at all. So.
Oh, I have to take the tunnel. Sorry.
So I say, okay, would it be possible to get an email confirmation of this? Because so far, this is all very, I don't trust it at all, especially after I'd already been ghosted by the last person. And she says, okay, when I schedule you with a work order, it will be an email. Then after that, I can email the paid invoice. I invoice on Tuesdays. So keep that in mind. I invoice on Tuesdays. And I say, all right, sounds good. Thank you. And says, okay, I'll send you the information tomorrow morning. And I'm like, and then she's like, how many hours do you want to book? And at this point, I'm like, I didn't know I had to choose the number of hours I want to book it to be cleaned, however long that takes. But I say, so I describe my apartment. I say it's small. I say square footage and baths and bedrooms and all that, and I describe my apartment. And I'm just like, I live pretty. I'm a pretty clean person, but it has to be literally basically spotless. What would you recommend? And she asked, do I require the oven and refrigerator to be cleaned? And I'm like, just the oven, because I'm not gonna have the food out in time, so I have to clean the refrigerator myself. Anyway, and she never responds, and so I'm like, so how many hours am I booking? You're not gonna respond to me at that point? And so I get an estimate in the morning. Like she said she would send me something in the morning. So I get this estimate in the morning, and it's for 2 hours, which is like the default number for them. Like it's the minimum you can book. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, how did Cracks know that?
What? They got the 1 hour goal over 2 hour standard and 5 hour. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is this
interesting?
path?
I don't know.
It is.
But they actually don't have a 1 hour
this?
version. That they start at 2 hours anyway. But
Oh.
yeah. So I get the 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, fine. I guess. Hopefully that's enough. We'll see. You didn't really didn't really let me answer. You just decided and didn't even tell me. But whatever. I'm done with this. I have way too many other things to deal with and things to book and figure out how, like, how I'm actually moving and all of that, and get the U-Haul and blah blah blah. Like, I have way too many other things to deal with. So as long as it's somewhat clean, I just don't care at this point. So Friday rolls around, right? And so I actually get the U-Haul and everything. So that we can pack all of the boxes in before they show up. So like, I give them a call. I mean, not a call. I text her Thursday night, and I'm just like, so when are you showing up? Basically, I mean, I say it politely, but like, when are you showing up? And I get an answer the next morning saying, I still need to set up your billing before your appointment is finalized. And I'm just like, you have to do what? What do you mean my appointment isn't finalized? It's today. How is it not finalized? And so I'm getting annoyed now, and you can hear it in how I actually answer in a non-polite way, where I just say, how long is that going to take? My appointment is supposed to be today, and you never told me I needed to do anything more to finalize it. And she's just like, I just need your credit card number. And I'm like, you need that before you do the cleaning? You need that before I see an invoice? But instead, I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable sending that via text message, because no one should feel comfortable with that. And
obviously.
Yeah. And
red flags all
and
around.
So she says I can send it via email or call, and I'm just like, okay, and so I call her, and I give her the information, because at this point I'm just tired. I've been, actually it's like 7 a.m. at this point, so I'm tired because it's 7 a.m., but also because I know that I'm about to be packing for like the next 6 hours and all of that and moving, and everything is stress at this moment, so I just am not, like, I have to use them. There's no one else I can book. I'm required to do this, so fine, steal my money, great, awesome sauce, love that. But anyway, so I give her the card number and all of that over the phone, and it should be all good. So then, it's like I finished packing my U-Haul and everything, and so the apartment is pretty much cleared out. There's only a few things left, and then so this guy shows up at 1 p.m., right? And he comes in, and he asked me like what I wanted done, and I'm just like, how has that not been communicated to you? But whatever, fine. So I describe again what I need done, which is I say a move-out cleaning. I'm having the carpet steam cleaned, but everything else needs to be clean. And so he brings up these two women who only speak Spanish, and so he describes to them in Spanish, I assume, what I said to him, and then he leaves, which is fine in that, like, I don't care that they don't speak English, but the problem then became that when they then asked me to look over the work, I couldn't explained to them that things weren't clean enough. Because when they, when 2 hours are up, oh, yeah, the guy also asked me, I should have put this in there, the guy also asked me, yes, basically, it was very awkward. It's like he drove them there. I don't know. It was very weird. It was like he was their handler. It was very strange. But anyway, so
Weird.
yeah. So he like comes in and he asks me, you know, what I want done, and then he asked me, do I want to stick to the time in the estimate, which I did not even agree to, but do I want to stick to the time in the estimate, or do I want them to finish the cleaning? I'm like, I want them to finish the cleaning. That's what I need done. I don't care what the timing in the estimate says. I want it clean. Even if that means I have to pay more money. I just need it clean. So I assume he tells them this. I really wouldn't be able to tell you because I unfortunately do not speak Spanish, so I don't know what he said to them, so I don't know how accurate he presented this to them, because almost 2 hours of the dot come up when they asked me to look it over, or at least that's what I got the intention was, for me to like check it over when they were done. And so I look around and I see there are still scuff marks on the walls, and I'm like, I know these will come off if you have the right, you know, cleaning supplies. And so I like point out one of them, and like the woman touches the scuff mark and tries to like rub it, and then says the word paint, and then some other things I couldn't understand, and I was just like, I interpreted that as her saying either it is paint or it needs to be painted, like it needs to be painted over, and I'm like, I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure this will come off, but there's no way for me to say that, and I'm also annoyed because I don't know how to communicate this.
I should have just done Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I should just know Spanish. It would have solved a lot of my problems, honestly. But so we get so then I show them another, like, where the wall is just clearly dirty. Like it's like this part of a wall that's under my my kitchen counter, not my breakfast bar situation. So it's where I sit. So I often am like touching this wall like with my feet because I sit up against this counter, so it's just gotten dirty. Okay, it's like there's dirt on this wall, and I look at it, I gesture to it, I'm like, this is clearly dirt, but and once again she just tells me it needs to be painted. I'm like, I disagree, but there's no way for me to explain this problem because there's a language barrier, and so I just give up and just say, I'm satisfied, you can go. And they get that, at least, and so they leave, and they left part of a vacuum in my apartment, like just the big, like, end of a vacuum with like a big, like the vacuum head, just in the apartment, and just left, and I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't know. So I just left it outside.
Shoot, I accidentally moved the thing.
What? You accidentally did what?
I accidentally moved the screen. Okay, I tried moving it back.
It's fine. If you move the screen, it still shares it the same. It's fine. It's about like size. Cool. That's what. Anyway.
So my pizza's here.
No.
So I'm gonna go do that,
okay.
But I will try to eat quick to be back in like 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay. So I will continue this story, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And I will be back.
All right.
I'm gonna go to my Skype and just turn my camera off.
Okay, I'm just going to bring us to different screen. So while Shan is grabbing pizza, I will just continue my story, and
yes.
And we're just going to have that music in the background. That's fun for us.
That's fine. It's fine.
Just cutting in and out. Anyway, so I'm like, whatever. There's like nothing I can really do about it at this point because I can't tell them. And so I look around after they leave, and then I spend the next like 20-30 minutes cleaning the walls myself. Like I go and I clean the walls, and I got the dirt off of the wall that was, where I had described
Absolutely
it.
ridiculous.
So I cleaned that off, and several other places there had been like just colored scuff marks from like just things hanging on the wall and scuffing it. I get those off to an extent, but like I don't have the greatest cleaning materials on me because I packed most of my stuff, but I had some stuff left over, and I'm just tired and I don't feel like putting in the elbow grease. I'm not getting paid.
Of course. But also, you paid someone a service to do that.
And so, yeah. So I'm trying to get it all off, and I get like a solid 70% of the scuffs off. But like I know the walls are still dirty. I'd have to clean the whole wall. Like I need like a sponge and bucket to clean the whole walls. Like it's not just these scuff marks. Like the walls are just dirty, and because I've lived there for 4 years and I never washed my walls before. Go figure. But also I look at the floor in the kitchen and it hasn't been mopped. Like it's clearly not.
The floor in the kitchen wasn't even mopped?
I don't think so. I remember once I had taken a Mr. Clean Magic eraser to the floor once and it turned a different color and I was just like, what? That's what color my floor was supposed to be? And it was not that color this time. It was just like the slightly dingier version of it, and I was just like, I don't have a Mr. Clean Magic eraser on me right now, and I'm not gonna go to the store and buy one. So I don't think they had. If they had mopped it, they hadn't mopped it well. There was no wet floor sign, so I don't think they'd mopped it at all. So.
Did you?
And they.
Did you like watch them at all?
So I had been sitting there for like. For the first like hour and change, I had been sitting there in the like living room, but I had no furniture at this point, and my butt started to hurt, honestly. So I was tired of sitting there, so I took a walk, and like, so I didn't watch them the whole time, but I watched her because she did clean the there were two women, and the one who was cleaning in the kitchen, she did clean the stove really well, like better than I could have, I think. But then, and the woman upstairs cleaned the bathroom really well. Right. But it's like just the bathroom and the stove was and like I guess they wiped down the counters and stuff, but it just like, and then they like cleaned along the like molding and stuff, there was like dirt and stuff. For the stove and bathroom.
Stove and bathroom.
You figured it out. Yes, that's it. But like they had also like cleaned the dust off of the moldings that were all around the like apartment, which were really gross too. Like those needed to be cleaned, and they cleaned them, and that's awesome. But it just wasn't a complete job. And I'm just,
like they could have also then cleaned.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like. So it's like I know they did something, but it's like they stuck to the 2 hours is more what it felt like than them doing the deep clean that I asked for. So I don't know. So anyway, so to finish out the story, I have given up. I spent half an hour doing what I could with what I had, but I just was like, fine, if it's not clean enough, it's not clean enough. It comes out of my security deposit, which at this point, considering all of the paint I've peeled, I don't really expect to get much of back anyway, so what's just a little bit more. So, I get a text on like Monday or something from my landlord, from my property manager, asking me, when's the cleaning crew coming? And I'm like, they were already there. And she's like, doesn't look, it's not as clean as I would expect out of a professional cleaning company. And I'm like, that's weird. I told them to deep clean it, acting like I hadn't seen how it wasn't clean enough. And she's like, well, we're going to have to hire someone to do it again. And I'm like, that comes out of my security deposit, right? She's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So, so I'm just going to have to pay for a cleaning company a second time. So, then I get an email from this company that is from the original woman I had been texting, and the email says, and I quote, hold on, I'm going to find the email, it is, the header is, how did we do? And it says, hi Rebecca, high five, we hope you're delighted with the service you received with us. We are an accredited leader in the customer service industry. If for some reason you don't feel that we earned 5 stars in the service you have been provided, please give us a call at, and this is the number of the woman I have been texting, So it's not like a different person. It would be calling her directly and share your experience. Thanks again for trusting in name. I'm just like, no, you didn't earn 5 stars. I'm going.
You earned -5.
I'm going to
son.
leave them a 1-star review for the first time ever in my life. I'm leaving a 1-star review. I haven't written it yet, but I'm going to. I just.
You should have it also be the. You should also you'd say the classic line: "If I could give 0 stars, I would."
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but like, yeah. So, and then to top it all off, the the cherry on the cake or whatever. That's not a saying, but you get the point. So they never invoice me. I never get an invoice, and that doesn't mean I didn't have to pay for it. Tuesday comes.
I was gonna say.
Remember I said to remember that they invoice on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday comes. I get a ding on my card. Never got an invoice. Just took the money. And I'm just like, that can't be legal.
You should say that it's a fraudulent charge.
Yeah, honestly.
No, I think that you should.
I mean, I don't actually know if that's illegal. I mean, they did the yes, they didn't do enough of the service, but like I cannot deny them money for services rendered, even if it isn't to the extent that I'd think that it should have been. So it's not fraudulent.
Yeah, I guess. But did you Is it still the amount that you expected it to be, or did you still have to find out what you?
No, it was the amount from the estimate.
Oh, okay.
So, if it had been more than that, I might have fought it, but like, no, it was the exact amount from the estimate, which was the 2 hours plus oven. So.
2 hours plus oven.
But yeah, so moral of that story is, I'm leaving my I as soon as I have the time, which is at some point, as soon as I have the time, I am writing a 1-star review, and putting that on Google, because everyone deserves to know they shouldn't use this company. Like, I've never thought that about a company before until this moment, but I absolutely believe it about this company. So, but also, I just feel like I should get some of my money back, because I had to pay for it a second time. So, but
you should.
But I don't think there's any. Yeah, like
what
am I gonna call
and
this
say,
woman again? Like, why don't they have a separate customer service, like an HR department? I don't know. I don't want to call her.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess without an invoice, they didn't have. I don't know. I don't know legally how, like, the services happened. Even if you don't get an invoice, I don't think you can say.
Well, like, they asked you, do you want the 2 hours or until it's done? And you said until it's done. And if you have to pay for a second cleaning company to come, then it obviously wasn't done. It wasn't cleaned until it was done.
True, it's not what I asked for. I mean, yeah, I think I have like a legal. I think I have legal standing here, but am I gonna sue them for $100 or something? No. Like, that's not worth it.
No, but you could complain to them.
That's true.
Not just a review on Google.
I don't know. I'm just.
But again, that would require
talking to this woman again.
Talking to that woman, yeah.
I have to put on my, my confrontation pants, and
My confrontation pants.
Yeah, and
you have to put on your mom voice.
Exactly.
Didn't you say that that's how you got like that Comcast deal in the beginning? Anyway.
That's how my mom gets deals all the time for Comcast.
Well, yeah, but you like said that you put on that.
Yeah,
front.
That's true. I did do that once with Comcast. It takes me a lot to get those confrontation pants on, but they're a tight fit, but I can do it. I can squeeze sometimes.
They're a tight fit.
Yeah. I mean, my dad gets free stuff from companies all the time that he complains to. Like, all the time. I really need to channel him. My mom does it for Comcast. Or used to do it for Comcast all the time. My dad does it to Comcast. He does it for Amazon. He does it for every company he does business with. He's just always like, I don't like this. Give me another one. Somehow that works.
I don't like this. Give me another.
So, yeah.
Another!
Yeah. So, I really just need to channel either of my parents. They're very good at that, and I'm very non-confrontational. I just want to make my dad do it for me. I'm 26 years old. I want my dad to make this call for me because he can yell at them and I won't feel bad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a point there.
Oh my god, I just got an email from a student who said they mixed up the due date on something. And so, okay, this is the stupidest. I think this might be the worst excuse I've ever seen. So, there's this project that for my class that I announced 2 weeks ago. It's due today. It's due tonight specifically. I have said it in class almost every day. I've talked about it in class. I said it definitely twice. I said it both class times this week that it was due on Friday. I went over like how to do it. Anyway, so when I originally posted it, I had copied it from my previous class, which meant that it said the due date from the previous class. It said May 3rd. And I didn't realize that immediately, so I went it stated that in the description, but then the actual due date posted on Canvas, which is our what we use for posting assignments and all of that. So the due date in Canvas says July 30th. But it had said in the description May 3rd. May 3rd is before the class started. Okay, so a thinking person would know that that's clearly incorrect. I just got an email from a student that says, "Hi, the project will the finance project will be late. I seem to have mixed up the due date, mistaken it to be May 3rd. Instead, it's due July 30th tonight. Did I understand that correctly?"
Of course you did!
Yeah!
I mean, you understand.
How would you think it's May 3rd? That's not part of our class ends on freaking next week!
Yes, it's
the last day of class is next week. You think the project is due May 3rd? Are you in... what kind of stupid... I've never gotten an email that's that stupid. What do you mean Rebecca, you thought it was due May 3rd?
Of course, Rebecca. It's due May 3rd, 2022.
Yeah, I had a whole freaking year to do it, and I'm gonna... What? This is clearly just a... I have to answer this email now, and I'm just like, what the hell am I supposed to say to you? Hello, sir? What?
No, just say it was due tonight and you missed it. Honestly, just be a hard ass about it.
I had my last unprofessional
to call this kid stupid.
Yeah, yes it is. But technically, if only the course reviews aren't in yet. So, but I had my last class not in person, but remote Zoom. My last Zoom class yesterday, so I never saw his face anyway. But he's never gonna be in class again with me, so I don't freaking care what he thinks of me at this point. He can put a bad review. I'm answering him honestly. I'm tired of people this week.
Yeah. Cracks, but that's the kicker. He will never have to take the class with her again because she has a new job.
Exactly. I'm done with this school. I'm at a new school now.
She's out of here. What are they gonna do? Fire you?
Yeah.
He's finding her in the new school and taking the class. Following you. Sorry, guys. Very tired. I'm exhausted. Okay. Are you answering this email right now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my gosh. Do on the grass!
What?
How's it going?
Oh, hello. You're just in time for us to be in an intermission, so welcome.
Yes.
I'm in the middle of yelling at a student in an email, but who thinks that an assignment was due on May 3rd when our class started on like May 26th, and they thought they had until next year to give their assignment in. So,
of course.
That makes sense. When the assignment is due today.
Those people
actually,
are so annoying.
Yeah. What?
No, Crack said that there was someone in his physics class who wanted to copy homework and then didn't understand why he failed the tests.
Yeah, I mean, that's, typical, honestly. Bad, but typical. It's just like, I don't understand what this kid this kid is, I just do not understand this child. He's so weird. The thing, like, I should not, legally I can't talk all about my students, I guess, but this guy's weird. They're all weird. My whole class is weird.
Yeah. Legally, you can talk about them, just can't use their names.
I guess that's true, but still.
But it's still... I get you, Rebecca. I felt the same way when I was teaching. Wanting to, like, vent about your students, but not being able to vent about your students. It's not HIPAA cracks, it's isn't it FERPA?
FERPA.
Yeah, it's FERPA.
HIPAA is for doctors. And my camera froze again. Hold on.
We take FERPA. Which is like that, but for teachers.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to answer this email now. I'm going to do my anime corner. I was typing the email and I was just like, I'm being too harsh. I mean, I'm not being too harsh. Everything I'm saying is accurate, but I'm just like, I'm unsure why you would believe it was due then. That makes no sense, and I shouldn't say it like that. That's rude, even though it's deserved. So I will get back to that email later. But,
anime corner.
Okay, so... Welcome to the summer season, which is a lot less stressful than the spring season because there's a lot less to watch. And I'm kind of behind. But so far, what I have watched is, let's see, what have I watched? I'm still watching Tokyo Revengers, A+, loving it more every day, highly recommend. Cracks will agree with me, I know. Let's see, I'm watching My Life as the Villainess, which is the one that in our Discord, Lost is always talking about. Also a very good show. So that one's about a girl who gets like reborn into a otome game, which is like a harem romance game thing.
Katarina S2?
Yeah, season 2, yes. Katarina is the main character, yes. She's reborn as the villain of the game, and so she's and the villain always gets like exiled or killed or something bad happens to her in the original game, and so she's trying to like avoid all of the ways that the villain, like all of these bad ends, but like then people start to fall for her instead of who would have been the main character of the original game and all of that. So anyway, that's like what season 1 is about and stuff, and now it's in season 2 and it's continuing with kind of that situation. I'm not going to go further into it because, well, talking about season 2 would spoil season 1. So, but that's a good one. That's a very good harem, but like in an enjoyable way, because I don't usually like harems, but that one's fun. And let's see, what else am I watching? Watched The Detective is Already Dead. I've only watched 2 episodes of that or something. And that one is about, it starts off with a guy who is like the assistant to this detective girl, but and they're like going on crazy adventures and stuff, and then, spoiler alert, it's in the name, so I don't think it's a spoiler, she dies. And so
What?
I know, right? And so it's about him like
Rebecca, no spoilers.
I'm sorry. it's I mean it's the name, but yeah. Uh uh so so she dies, and so it's about him like kind of dealing with her having died, and then so it's like a year later after she died, and he's like getting back, like trying to be just a normal high school student now after all their crazy adventures, but like then he meets these people who kind of draw him back into this stuff, and then there's this girl who has like a weird connection to the previous girl, to the detective who he was kind of in love with, possibly. I don't know. I really liked the detective character before she died, and so I'm really sad that she died because I thought she was great.
I mean, that's kind of like, I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah,
so
I know. It's like I knew
she's
she was gonna die, but now I'm just mad that that character's not in it. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the rest of the show. Is what I'm getting at. So I'm just like, I want her to be in the show, but she's not, and that's annoying. But
yeah,
maybe
I mean, it's kind of like how Shannon wanted to make Zahara's background.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Everyone in her town dies. And then I was like, all right, but I'm gonna make you care about these people first.
Yeah.
And I gave them all personality,
sure.
and I filled her entire town.
Yeah, that's very true. But more to the point is that, like, I'm just annoyed that the character isn't in it. So I'm just like, I don't know if the replacement characters I'm gonna like as much. So I don't know if I'm gonna be interested in the show. That's more my issue with it. So we'll see. We'll see if I like them as much as I liked her. She was funny. I sent you and you guys a Snapchat of one of the scenes from that show where she walks in on him in the like taking a bath or something. He like stands up, and she just keeps having this conversation with him about like ordering pizza, and he's just like, can you have some reaction to the fact that I'm naked? And she's just like, I'm more interested in the pizza than that. And I'm just like,
yeah, I remember
love you. Like, so it's just like for once in an anime, the girl doesn't just go and slap him for being naked in a bathtub or some stupid thing like that. Like, she is not upset. She's the one who walked in and just didn't care, and I'm just like, yes. I mean, obviously that's awkward, but it's very funny.
Either Shannon's back or there's a ghost.
Yeah, so.
It's actually a ghost. Wait, how long was it gone?
I don't know. Long enough for me to start my anime corner. And to get a very stupid email from a student.
She finished her cleaning saga and went on to her anime corner. Now that Shannon is back, I actually have to go to the bathroom real quick while you continue your anime corner.
We're rotating on.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't want to leave Rebecca alone and talk about her anime.
Yeah. So
Rebecca's not like screaming into the void.
I mean, like I said, I'm just starting my podcast. This is me beginning my future anime podcast. So anyway, so what else have I watched recently? There's like a few shows that I want to watch. Like, I want to watch that aquarium one I recommended to y'all. I watched a few shows that are by the same like production company that always end in a way that I'm not satisfied with. So I'm like not super excited about it, but they're always really pretty, and so I want to watch it anyway. And sometimes they're interesting and stuff. There's just always something that I'm just about, but that's just personal opinions on it. Am I watching anything else? I have to be watching something else. I mean, My Hero Academia is finally getting interesting this season. It wasn't interesting for the first half of the season to me personally, but now it's getting more interesting, and I really like the new theme songs. That one's good. But true, Cracks, yes, I did recently read... What did I recently read? What was my most I mean, I finished Beck, but what did I read after Beck? Was it the last manga I read? I mean, I'm always reading stuff, but I can make a recommendation, just because I'm thinking about it. One of my favorite manga is, called, The Apothecary Diaries. That's what the official English.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, Violet's almost died.
I thought you were just so excited about the Apothecary Diaries.
No, I was so nervous because we were about to lose our Oddish that we just got. Alright, let's send out Remy. Send out your evolved form.
But yeah, so the Apothecary Diaries is, hold on, I never put up the Nuzlocke rules. There they are. But is about this girl who works in like, so it's like old, I don't know if it's supposed to be China or Japan, honestly. I'm really not sure, but it's like feudalism period. I don't know. Anyway, she works in like the castle, right? Or the palace where the emperor is, and there's like a bunch of consorts and stuff, and she's like a maid for the consorts. And but she grew up. She was raised by an apothecary. So she's like obsessed with like various like poisons and stuff. And so she grew up basically taste testing poisons. And so like she actually enjoys them. And so like she gets like hired kind of to be like a food tester, and because she can eat the poison and just be like, yeah, this is poisoned, and she's fine. And it's so funny every time she eats poison and everybody's like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I mean, no one else should eat this, but she keeps eating it anyway. It's great. But anyway, but then there's like this other, like this noble guy who's definitely in love with her, but is super awkward, and I adore him, because he's like so awkward, and she thinks he's like a eunuch, but he's not, because he's actually, like, there's this whole secret backstory and stuff. I don't want to spoil if anyone actually wants to read it, but anyway, so she thinks he's, like, because he's like a very Bishonen type guy, so, but he's like constantly, like, he's the one reacting to her like eating poison and stuff, and she's just like, I don't know what you're freaking out about. And she's just so weird, and basically he keeps like bringing her on to like solve like mysteries and stuff that are related to her knowledge of like various tinctures and whatnot, and like people like in the palace being like being assassinated or attempted assassinations and stuff like that. And so because she's like super smart and stuff, and so she she starts like solving all of these mysteries, and is like the one who everybody like calls to whenever there's like some weird thing that happens in the palace. They ask her to go and like solve the case. She's Nancy Drew basically. Anyway, I love this manga. I highly recommend it. It's in my top 10 for sure. So the Apothecary Diaries. I love that manga. I have my 3 manga recommendations, and I don't talk about the ones I read. Correct. What are the 3? What are the 3? And what the clinically insane ones? Are you talking about like One Piece style? Because that's, yeah. The weekly ones I read are like that. You'd have to be clinically insane. That would be One Piece. But also, I read like a solid 20 of them or so. I think are updating. Maybe more than that.
I'm gonna fucking kill this Butterfree. Sorry to interrupt, but it's really pissing me off.
I believe in you. Kill that. Smash that bug.
I'm gonna use more potions.
I also, I finished Dr. Stone. I might have read that after Beck. Dr. Stone is very good. It's one of my favorite anime, but the manga, though I still love it, is, I don't know, there's like parts of it that really annoy me simply because it does that anime manga thing of always just forgiving the bad guys way too quickly, but like and it's like, yeah, Naruto does that all the time, and it's, you know, whatever. But, like, the way they do it, they then trust them to be on their team, like, immediately, even though they were trying to kill each other, like, a chapter ago. And it's just, like, kind of weird how quickly they turn around. I'm just like, there should be some punishment here. Why are you suddenly on their team? Like, I don't get it. And so that really bugs me because it happens to literally every bad guy. They become, like, I think there's been one antagonist who didn't end up on their team so far. But, like, I really do love Dr. Stone otherwise. I think it's a really interesting read. Also, the anatomy of the men is very concerning. They have way too many muscles in a way that is just not atomically accurate. But, you know, otherwise, the story is fun. Let's see. I do not know
all
any
the way
of the
back
ones.
to Viridian's.
I haven't read any of the ones you just said, Cracks. I mean, of course I read Beck, but like the other ones I have not. I haven't read or watched Berserk or Dead Man Wonderland. Someday.
They're on my list.
Yeah, they're on my list. I mean, they're probably both in the top 100 anime that I said on the Discord that I'm trying to get through the top 100. That's my goal, which is why I guess the most recent anime I watched was Steins Gate because that was the first one in the list that I hadn't watched, except for of course what's it called? I have not watched or I have not finished Death Note, but I refuse. So other than Death Note.
Wait, you haven't finished Death Note?
Death Note. I know that's gonna get me some flack, but I do. I have not. I watched the first 15 episodes of it. Anyway, back in freshman year of college, and I haven't touched it since. But, yeah, so eventually maybe to complete the 100 I'll watch Death Note. But right now, no. I skipped over it and went to Steins Gate. Steins Gate is in my top 5 anime now. I adore Steins Gate. It's so good. I love that show. But next is Code Geass, which... Code Geass? I don't know how it's pronounced. But,
that's also on my list.
But... I don't like mech shows, so like, at least these mechs, as of episode 3, don't seem to be alive, so that's nice. I don't like robots. I don't like living robots. I don't like that. It does not gel with me. But as long as they're not alive in some way, then maybe I'll enjoy it, so we'll see.
I mean, yeah, I understand, because I'm also not like a huge fan of mechs. Like, I have seen some mech ones, but it's not my overall, like, go-to genre.
Yeah, I've watched, like, 2 that I enjoyed, and then generally, as soon as the mech starts, as soon as they try and convince me that a robot has a soul or something, I'm just, like, so far out that I just cannot watch it anymore. I'm just completely do not care anymore.
You have robots that are also lions. Like Voltron.
Yeah, so I watched half of the first episode of Voltron as soon as the lion robots were shown, and they bonded with the people, which implied that they had free will in some way. I was just like, I could feel myself not caring anymore. This was back before,
Transformers, then?
I mean, I actually did like the Transformer movies originally. I don't know. Maybe it was because I liked Shia LaBeouf back when they first came out. That might have been. I mean, that was back in the day. Like, he wasn't that far out of like Holes and even Stevens. It was pretty early on. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So I'm looking at the chat now, and yeah. So wait. I have not. I also have not watched Evangelion. Yeah, I know.
That one you gotta.
I know. Like, how can I be an anime, like the anime fan that I am, without having watched Evangelion? I know, but I don't like robots. I watched the first episode of it, and then I know. I have to.
Isn't it technically angels?
What?
Isn't Evangelion about angels?
No. Well, there are things called angels. They're robots.
They're mech?
It's about robots. Yeah. So I watched the first episode. I was just like not super into it, and then because robots, Because robots. But like, yeah, the only ones I've been able to make it through. I watched all of Gurren Lagann. So.
Oh, I did like that one.
I like oh geez, what's the studio called?
This drill that will pierce the heavens.
Studio, whatever the studio is that does Kill la Kill and Gurren Lagann. I like them, but I'm blanking on the name at the current moment. No, it's definitely not Madhouse. It's Trigger. Thank you. Yeah, it's Trigger.
Trigger. Yeah.
I enjoy Trigger shows. I mean, they're weird. They're crazy. I like them. So I enjoyed Gurren Lagann. I didn't love the robot parts. Did not do it for me. But I liked the characters. So, and I like the stylistic way that those shows are done.
Believe in me. Believe in the me that believes in you.
I also think their English dubs are good, so that makes them easy to watch, even if I don't love robots. But anyway.
I love Kamina.
Yeah. But like, and then the only other mech, quote unquote mech show. It's not even an anime. I watched the one made by the Rooster Teeth, whatever it was called. And that was fun.
Ruby?
Well, not
Red versus Blue.
No, Genlock.
Oh, Genlock.
I forgot about that show until this moment, but that is one of the few other mech-ish shows I've watched.
Like, they haven't said anything about season 2 in, like,
think it
ever.
Exists. But
I should give that show a shot, though.
It's good.
But, well, which Gundam, though, Cracks? There's so many Gundams. Gundam is, like, a whole franchise. All of that's
another
is
bird.
there more Gundam than One Piece? Like, I feel like maybe not, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, Gundam is the beginning of mech anime, but there's just so much of it. I don't know. I can't even make it through like Evangelion. You want me to watch that? Oh Lord. But yeah, so the list. The top 100 anime, I mean, which is hard to find a cohesive list because, like, everyone... Oh, my camera again! What the heck? Okay, coming back. I don't understand. But anyway,
Here we go, Raticate v. Raticate.
Woo! Anyway, yeah, so... I need to find like one list of 100 anime to watch because I keep going back to different lists and that say different rankings and stuff because everybody's got a different opinion, you know. But eventually I'm going to have to watch Eva, I think is how it's pronounced, right? Anyway, and Code Geass, and I don't think I'm gonna watch Gundam. That's just not gonna happen. I decided I will watch the top 100 minus the things that are, you know, hundreds of episodes long. Like, I'm not gonna finish Bleach. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or Dragon Ball.
Maybe when we're old and in a nursing home.
Yeah, right. I'll just be there watching all the episodes of Dragon Ball in my nursing home.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if you just watch like the first season of like the ones that are like hundreds of episodes long, I feel like
they don't have defined seasons.
First season, first arc, whatever.
I don't know, maybe. But I mean, if I'm just, you know, the only extra long anime I'm trying to watch, and I've been trying to watch it since undergrad. I'm trying to watch Gintama, and that's like 500 and some episodes or something like that, and I'm on like episode 40 something. And I've been watching it for 5 years. Like, it's I don't know how I finished One Piece. I have no idea how I did that in like a year.
You started early.
Yeah, well, I did it all in 1 year, so I don't know. I finished One Piece, Naruto, and Fairy Tail all in the span of 2 years in college. While I was getting straight A's. So I don't know how I did that. Honestly, I was a different person.
Alright, quit bragging.
Well, yeah, I guess that was a little bit of a humble brag, but the point is, I don't know how I existed back then.
I gotta get rid of some items and I forget that like bags have limits in the earlier games.
Yeah, you had to like
even in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald they do.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's get rid of the items that I don't
think I
need
ever
right
hit
now.
the limit in Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald though. But yeah, definitely. And I'm frozen again. I don't understand what's going on.
I like the face that it froze on.
I don't.
Glad you enjoy it.
Time to Office Space that camera.
Honestly, yeah. I also haven't seen Office Space, but I do understand the reference. I don't own
I don't
a
like the movie.
sledgehammer, but I do own a hammer, so that's close enough, right?
I wanna be a sledgehammer.
Okay.
Is that,
Wait, no!
is that also
Was
from
it
the
by
Ratatouille
Matt?
musical?
No, that's a Sting song.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
It's a great song.
It's a great
Oh.
song.
I
I don't know
probably
if
should
it's
know.
Sting
I
or the
mean,
police. Sting's voice.
I know old music. I don't know. I'm tired. It's a long day.
Oh, sorry, Peter Gabriel, not.
Yeah,
Not
it's
Sting.
like, is it?
I saw it.
I
Okay,
was
I'm gonna
confused
tell you
for a
this
second,
one.
but I didn't want to say anything.
I'm gonna tell you why I got that confused.
Okay.
It's because I went to a Sting and Peter Gabriel concert once, and what they did was they sang each other's songs at one
Oh,
point,
that is confusing.
and Sting sang that song, so I have ever since gotten it confused.
That's
of who
the
sung it.
only fair reason for you to, like, get that kind of... Like, I feel like anytime on the internet you get something like that wrong, you're gonna get blasted.
I know
This is the
Gabriel
one,
was
like, the
correct.
one time you have a fair excuse for that, honestly. Like, I don't think...
I know!
Like, seriously. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I saw him in concert, Craig.
This is the time to use that. What if I do want to use my nugget?
Yeah, if you want some chicken nuggets,
that was-
you know, if you're hungry.
I like my nugs.
Welcome to Vermilion City, everyone.
Ooh. This guy never puts up his building. It's in how many generations? How many
slow
years?
build, you know. Do you have the dipping sauce, though? Craig said.
Gotta get that sweet and sour. Snoring. Oh!
Alright, I just remembered, the other show I'm watching this season is Remake Our Life, which is about a guy who, who wants to work for a video game company, but then, like, the video company goes under, and then he gets another job, and then that one goes under too, and so basically, he's got all these skills and stuff, but, like, he's all upset about how his life worked out, and, he,
Oh man.
what?
Wait.
What?
Shannon is stuck in a never-ending conversation.
He's talking about how much he loves his Rapidash.
Okay.
Oh, hey, we got a bike voucher, though.
Nice.
So that was
Awesome.
important.
That is important.
I have
Yep.
to talk to every single person,
Firo.
everywhere, all the
I
time.
find it very funny that, like, in the old games, they were always all capitalized, so it goes, my Firo will fly!
Fly!
Hero!
He's very excited.
Exchange that for a bicycle.
It looks like a cool fairy.
And, wait, Krax, you weren't here yet when yes, our name is Socialism, and our rival is Capitalism. Yeah. And our main...
This restart like
and
3
our
times.
Charmander's name is Bernie-san.
Wait, so we got
Yeah.
Bernie San for Bernie Sanders.
Sorry, Charmeleon.
And then we also got AOB, which is like AOC, but we did AOB.
Yeah.
Then
Baseball violence.
the
Baseball is
bat.
a bat.
Baseball the Zubat.
Bat.
Which is what I name all of my my Zubats when I played Pokemon.
And then Oddish is violence.
And that was caught today. He was there for that one.
And then we got Riru, which is Arpeggiato.
This is me, I don't know why. And I'm frozen again.
And the Ratatouille. The Ratimal.
And then we had others, and those have
They
since
died.
passed on.
Mm-hmm. Never again. I need to do lots of training to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Anyway, so in remake Our Life, so he he's all upset that his life didn't work out, and he basically is like, if I had just gone to art school, maybe I could have been a lot better at this instead of going to like business school and like trying to be like a normal person. He's like, I should have gone to art school, which is basically the opposite of what normal people think. But anyway, so it's like maybe I could have actually done something with my dreams or whatever. And so he wakes up the next day, of course, and is back in time, as you do, very Tokyo Revengers style, except he's not coming back. Anyway, and and it's like the day before he's supposed to make the decision about which school to go to, and so he decides to go to art school instead of business school, and so he's in art school and he's meeting people and stuff, and he's trying to like relive his life and all of that, and that's basically what it is. It's not like a super interesting premise, but I'm like, it's got some interesting like stuff about various like different visual arts and whatnot, and so that's kind of interesting. We'll see. I'll get back to you on how I feel about it at the end. It's not bad, but I so far I'd give it like a 6 maybe.
Oh.
That.
I need to get that the fishing rod.
I think that's it for my current list. Which one? There's a few that like I said, haven't started yet that I. Oh, right, and Sunny Boy. That's one that I also watched only the first episode of so far. But, because like I said, I'm behind on everything. But Sunny Boy is about a bunch of, like a class full of kids, a high school class that gets transported to some sort of like weird demi-plane where they're just stuck in the school and don't know what to do, and so like, and some of them have like supernatural powers, and like, so there's this weird power dynamic going on, and it's all very like Lord of the Flies-ish, but with some magic. And like I said, I only watched one episode so far, but I'm very intrigued by what's going on. I'm curious whether they're going to explain like what's going on, or if it's just going to be left in some sort of magical realism situation, which I hate. I do not like magical realism. It does not gel well with me. I like hard magic systems. So like, we'll see. That's just a personal feeling on it. I understand why people enjoy soft magic. I get that. It just doesn't do it for me. So we'll see how I feel about this, if they ever explain it, or if it's just going to leave it in this weird, like, surrealist state that bugs me, personally. But, and...
What about medium magic?
I mean, medium magic, I think a lot of systems are medium magic, and I deal with them, but I don't love them. It's like, I could go on, I have a lot of thoughts on magic systems, and they're thoughts that I don't think other people need to share. Like, my feelings on, like, Ghibli movies and stuff. No one needs to hear them, really, unless you want to, because you're not gonna like them. Because it's just my personal opinion about magic systems, and it's not anything anyone else needs to agree with. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I like loose.
For days.
I like loose magic.
Yeah.
I like...
You like loose magic?
Loose.
Loose? Loose magic?
I like fast and loose magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Krax, I do have an unpopular opinion on Ghibli, that is why.
Yeah, I do like loose magic, too.
Mm-hmm.
But... yeah, I like when magic can kind of just do anything.
I don't. I really don't. It does not do it for me.
I don't know what I like. I just like magic in general. I don't know if I have an opinion. Alright, training montage.
It's like, it's interesting because, so the concept of magical realism should be realistic. And yet, I feel like it's always surrealist. And so it doesn't feel like realistic magic. It's like, magical realism is not realistic magic. Why is that the name?
Yo, should I play, like, lo-fi or something in the background as I'm doing a training montage?
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, no, I can do that. I can just pull up YouTube because I'm still sharing my sound.
I mean, I suppose, but we have, like, content restrictions and stuff, so I don't know. It would have to be, like... I mean, technically, we're not even technically allowed to play the Nintendo music, probably. I don't know. But, I don't know. We'd have to do something that's, not what's the word? I don't know. I'm not a streamer.
Not copyright issues.
The one YouTube.
Oh, baseball guru level.
The one YouTube channel is DMCA free as long as you credit them for lo-fi. Oh, well then, there you go.
Wait, what YouTube channel? Can you share it?
But yeah. I agree, Cracks, that like I just find that soft magic systems almost always do end up with Deus Ex Machinas. And it's like, but the problem is that you don't even realize that's what it is because there's no rules at all. So you can just write it off it's not that because you're just like, that's just part of the magic anyway. So it's like, how do you know what a Deus Ex Machina is when there's no rules? Like, that's how I feel about it. So it's like, well, okay. I'm just gonna say, like, the most recent Ghibli movie I watched was, I rewatched Princess Mononoke. That's the ending of that is such Princess a Deus Ex Machina. Like, it doesn't make any sense why what happens in it happens. It really just doesn't. Like, there's no logic behind why, like, it would work the way it does. It's just that that's how the magic works, and there's no explanation of it.
Whoa! Ah! Sorry, that was very loud.
It didn't actually get to us, so it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's good because it was very loud for me. Let me turn it down a bit. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, dude. Like it. Yeah,
How's that? Can you hear it?
Probably right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like it for. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like it for like minor things.
Yeah.
Like small little.
Yeah.
Thing, not game breaking.
Yeah, it's
things.
like
game breaking things are like.
I just have like a much lower willing suspension of disbelief. Like I don't like. It's like if it's small things like, for example. It's not that I necessarily need full explanation of everything. It's just that there's this thing that's written into a lot of Ghibli and a lot of these types of things that is just like anything is possible. You just don't know what. Like, and that just is. It makes basically what it does for me personally is that it removes all stakes because I'm just like it can be solved with magic. I don't know what the magic is, but it can be solved with it. So of course there's no stakes because I don't know what the rules are. But that again is only my opinion. I don't expect other people to agree with me on that. It's just that stakes matter to me and it takes away the stakes. And I get that it might parallel character development and all of that, but I guess I want like it's not that I just need a plot driven story and that's it. I want character and plot to both drive it. And if it's purely character and the plot just doesn't matter because magic, then what's the point? That's my personal feeling on it. But yeah. But once again,
I don't know. I just like magic in general.
I mean, like once again,
I will say like Fairy Tail is definitely one of those where the plot is like meh. Yeah. But I love the characters.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean.
There's just also
Fairy Tail has a confusing magic system sometimes, and does rely on that. Does a lot of Deus Ex Machina stuff where it's just like, yeah, suddenly they have the ability to do this thing, and that really bugs me. But it's not like a soft magic system in the same way. It's just that they get those moments where it's just like, yeah, suddenly they can do this thing, and it's annoying. And that's why, because there are no stakes then, if they can just suddenly manifest an ability they didn't have before, because it's time to have it. It's just, that's annoying. But, like, that's different than the whole world of the magic system being, like, there are no rules at all, and so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what is and is not possible. It's just, again, I don't know. I've written out my thoughts on Mononoke and stuff before. When I had watched it a year ago, I was talking to someone about it, and I wrote out like a really long explanation of my issues with it, and I don't remember them super well because I don't care that much about it. But it's just, that's how I I'm not fighting anyone for enjoying that. I understand why it's enjoyable. I understand why it's done. I get thematically what the point is. It just doesn't work for me personally. So it's like explaining to me why it is that way is not going to help because I get why it is that way. It just doesn't gel with me.
Focus energy doesn't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get Beedrill to learn another move that can actually attack. Mm-hmm. And it just learned one that can't. It just makes it more likely to get critical hits, but I want it to get better.
I really liked my Beedrill that I had in some later game. I don't remember which game it was, but I had a Beedrill, and I really liked my Beedrill, and I think her name was Bridget. I don't remember. But anyway, but yeah, it's back in Gen 1. You just get nothing. There's nothing. But anyway, Cracks, it wasn't like an essay. It was like a text. It was a conversation I had, but it was on Discord, so I could find the message that I sent to the person. I know where it is. If you're that curious about my thoughts on Ghibli. But again, like I said at the beginning, I'm not attempting to ruin other people's feelings on it because it brings so much joy to so many people. It just doesn't do it for me. I think the movies are beautiful. I will give them that. They are beautiful. It's just too slow for me, too soft.
I love like the anti-human pro-environment message from Princess Mononoke as an environmentalist. I love that.
Yeah. I mean that, I'll give you that.
So, Wolf. Oh, shoot. I did not know that. Huh. Well, definitely not going to use that move.
Interesting.
AOB, I need to pull your weight. You're slacking. Yeah, we're doing lots of level up right now because I know once we get on that ship, we're gonna have to fight a lot of people and so having some trouble with even some people on this route.
We're listening to such calm music while you're just speeding around. Like, this does not match. I feel like it should be like the flight of the bumblebee. It should be what's been in the background. Like, geez. And Cracks, yeah, it wouldn't be hard for me to find. Like I said, it was a conversation with someone that I don't really speak to anymore so much, so like it wouldn't be hard for me to find it because it wouldn't be like a long ways back. But yeah.
Yeah, we need to get this Beedrill another move. Dang, I missed our first Beedrill that we had that actually had like Poison Sting, which I mean is not a great move, but at least it's another attacking move. Oh shoot, Bernie Sanders is poisoned.
No,
I did not realize that. Well, it's a good thing I saw that now, so then we can go take care of him. I'm just gonna like monitor and. Because if I can bring him to the Pokemon Center without burning an antidote, I would like to do that. But I want to make sure he's not going to die in the process. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that for when they get poisoned, so that they don't die. If he's really good. What's Paganini note number 24? I don't know what that means.
Is that a musician? Like Beethoven's Fifth, Paganini's number 24? I don't know.
Oh my god, stop missing! Oh my god, I hate stand attack! Oh, there we go, finally. I like how in, like, I don't know when it starts, but I like how in, like, the Pokemon games, at least the later ones, like, you can, like, order you can like fix the order of your moves, which I like to do. Like I like to do like my like strongest attack first, and then I go down the list, and then like I have my the ones that are like stat changes at the bottom. I don't know. It just makes it. I like organizing. Tell me you're a Type A personality without telling me you're a Type A personality. Wait, what? Poison powder doesn't affect Mankey? Since when?
Poison doesn't affect normal types?
Mankey's fighting. Or is Mankey fighting in this first gen? Because I know a lot of things are different.
Okay, hold on. Mankey. Mankey. Oh yeah, Mankey is from the Apothecary Diaries. That makes sense. There it is. I figured it out.
Also, apparently, flying is not super effective against fighting in this generation.
Gen 1 is crazy, apparently.
It's me up.
I mean, it just says type fighting, but I don't know if that. I'm on Bulbapedia. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Maybe. No, wait. But they don't have abilities in the first generation either, so it couldn't be an ability. I'm so.
Huh. Huh. Yeah. I mean.
I'll try Stun Spore this time.
I don't know. Bulbapedia is only listing the Gen 7 or 8, I mean, immunities and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on in Gen 1.
There should be like a section where you can actually like click on each generation and see. Oh no, I'm thinking of the moves. Set. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Wikipedia is like.
Okay, I'll go look up Gen 1 move. No, type chart. See if that helps.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to harden. Okay, well, whatever.
Okay, well that's clearly not Gen 1. It has fairy in it. Was dragon part of Gen 1? I always think it wasn't, but I think Andrew yelled at me last time I said it wasn't, so I don't remember.
I feel like it would be, because what else would Dratini and all that be?
Water.
Oh. I did not even think that. Well, I know there's no dark and there's no steel type in the first generation.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm looking at a first gen chart. It's got dragon, but it doesn't have dark, steel, or fairy. So, let's see. Just says fighting. Wait. So if fighting doesn't have any immunities. So, I don't know. That's weird.
They don't like that. Alright, I'm gonna get at least everybody up to 20. Alright, let's try Stun Spore. What? Why does it not affect it? I'm so confused. Is that like, maybe it's a glitch or something?
This is a very powerful Mankey. He cannot be stunned or poisoned.
All Mankeys. Mankeys just in general cannot be stunned or poisoned.
Yeah.
They're just that. Can you look up and see like if there's other people who had issues with trying to
I'm trying to find it.
It's so weird.
I just found a bunch of toxicological profiles. That's what keeps coming up.
That's my alley.
FDA, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Fighting is strong against poison? Wow.
Even if that's true, why wouldn't it shouldn't not affect it? Can Mankey just not be maybe it just can't have like conditions? Like you can't do anything that causes a condition to it?
But that should be like an ability, and that was only introduced in Gen 3, I'm pretty sure. That's why I'm like so confused right now.
Yeah, if I look up Mankey immunities, I just get weird articles about primates. Primates, not apes.
Try looking up Pokemon Mankey.
Yeah. Well, I tried Gen 1 Mankey. I just get stuff about mucus. What is this? What am I reading?
I love hearing all this stuff that Rebecca's finding.
Nothing useful.
Oh man, I'm like vibing to this lo-fi right now. I love lo-fi. It just like makes me chill out.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. I don't know. It must just be a weird glitch or something.
So weird.
Gen 1.
Alright. Now I gotta go to the Pokemon Center again, because Bernie-san got poisoned. Okay, I think I might have eaten that pizza a little too fast.
Oh no.
Just a little bit of indigestion, it's fine. It just looks like so funny with its like, looks like it's doing like a pirouette or something.
It does. It's like, like what is this? Or it's doing like the M in YMCA, like.
I'm not it though. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my mic just disconnected for some reason. No, sorry. I had to go say hi to my neighbors and their cute little puppy.
Aww. Pixar didn't happen.
Oh, well, I can send you pictures of him at a different time. But because their daughter, who I went to like elementary school with, is visiting. She lives in Canada now, so I was saying hi to her.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, there's this massive tree limb that came down at my house today. And so PSE&G is currently talking with my dad.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I use PSE&G now because I'm in New Jersey.
Yes, 'tis a New Jersey company, I think.
Well, no, I think it's in other places too, but at least it's New Jersey. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't play lo-fi for my Shrimpy boys. I don't. But I was playing, I was listening to The Adventure Zone with my Shrimpy boys, so that's something. But they won't know where it is because like they're starting it in the middle, so they don't really know what's going on.
Confused.
They're gonna be so lost, especially once they get eaten by the bigger Shrimpy boys. If it's the little Shrimpy boys.
Well, usually when I'm referring to my Shrimpy boys, I'm gonna be referring to the
big ones.
The big ones, yeah.
Not the brine shrimp. Not the brine shrimp.
Feeder ones.
I think the brine shrimp boys will just be like the BSBs.
Brine shrimp. It sounds like a band. The
BSB.
Sounds like a K-pop band. Brine Shrimp Boys.
Brine Shrimp Boys. That's funny.
No, the K-pop band is BSB,
well,
and then people ask what it stands for, and it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
What did we say? I already forgot what we called it. That's how tired I am.
Brine Shrimp Boys.
Brine Shrimp Boys.
Shrimp Boys. It's like the Beach Boys or the Beastie Boys. The Brine Shrimp Boys. And then, yeah, my Shrimpy Boys are gonna be my grass shrimp. I know it's confusing, except technically Artemia and the brine shrimp and grass shrimp are actually in two different classes. Yeah, classes.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought that they were the same.
Oh yeah. Also, letting like Cracks and Dew and whoever is on.
Oh.
I know you know, but.
Sorry.
I see the brine
Oh,
shrimp.
yeah, for y'all in the chat, brine shrimp and grass shrimp are about as closely related as humans and cows. So when like the grass shrimp are eating the brine shrimp, it's not cannibalism. Like it's just like when we eat cows.
But when the brine shrimp eat each other, it is cannibalism.
That is cannibalism. Yeah, and
Which
grass
is
shrimp
frowned
will
upon
eat
in many
each other
societies.
too. Yeah, they are cannibals. They will cannibalize each other, but at least the food that I'm giving them is not cannibalization.
At least.
I don't know if that's a word.
Yes, that's a word. I would know.
You know,
Okay.
another animal that cannibalizes is the prairie dogs. They will eat each other. They will eat each other's young.
I don't like that.
Disapprove.
Yeah.
Oof. Big oof.
But then when they get to a certain age, they take care of each other's young.
Okay.
If I was a prairie dog, I would not want any other prairie dogs around my young.
Oh, and they greet each other. They greet each other with the prairie dog
statement.
faces.
If I was a prairie dog, I would not want any other prairie dogs around my young. Quote by Shannon.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they greet each other by giving each other prairie dog kisses, but the kisses are actually they're scratching their teeth against each other.
Oh. Okay.
I don't like that. That's like when you're kissing somebody a little too aggressively.
Literally just. And it's a sign of respect, so the younger will do it to the older.
So weird.
Yep.
Just grow out of eating size. Yeah, as long as you don't get eaten first.
Nature is crazy, yo, cracks. And you know what? Prairie dogs have been found to have the plague. Like the Black Plague. Like.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yes, they are.
Armadillos carry leprosy.
They're like
or the
9-banded
armadillo
anyway, so they pop out.
Y'all, the 9-banded armadillo carries leprosy.
Ignore me, I'm tired too.
What did you just say about popsicle rats?
I said prairie dogs are just like popsicle rats anyway, so.
Why are they popsicles?
They like pop out of the ground.
Like daisies.
I feel like they'd be push pops.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of popsicle I was picturing. Push pop rats. Sorry, I should have said push pop rats. You're correct. That would have been a better way to put it.
Violence has already learned 2 moves, and I am just scrounging
Violence
has learned
violence.
Violence, look at that face. Look at that face.
Threat.
We have raised a little murderer. Violence craves violence. Mother.
It's kind of sad when violence evolves. I'll be sad when violence evolves.
I don't know. I'll be happy to see violence on their journey.
We need to get a leaf stone.
I mean, violence isn't going to evolve for a while, so we don't need a leaf stone for a while, right?
Oh yeah, I know, but we'll need one eventually.
Wait, why do we need a leaf stone in order to evolve?
To evolve Gloom into Vileplume, you need a leaf stone.
Oh.
Monkey. Ooh. Alright, let's try sleep powder. Hey, okay, that worked.
Alright.
Woo! Is asleep.
Yeah, so I looked through
Heck
looked
yeah.
through my anime list and my manga list, and I don't have anything else to talk about. Honestly, nothing new. I mean, I could talk about old stuff, but I have nothing new to talk about. So, that's crazy that I'm just not watching nearly as much as I was last season.
Dang.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's like 6 shows instead of 12. It's crazy town over here. But
Crazy Town, is that next to Lazy Town?
Yes, absolutely.
I was thinking of Lazy Town when you said Crazy Town.
I mean, Cracks.
It reminds me of the Bake a Cake song
I would
with Lil Jon.
I'm currently caught up. Well, if we talk caught up, that's a longer list, but there are 25 actively publishing manga that I am. Oh wait, no, sorry. 23 actively publishing manga that I am reading. I just looked. So yeah. And then several that I'm caught up on, but like the they don't have like English translation, so so I wait on the scanlations, the teams who do it, and they just stopped, so I'm just waiting on like another 15 of them to someday maybe update. We'll see. I'm crazy.
Guys, I am so tired.
Yeah, how was your day again?
Me?
You said that you like passed out or something?
Oh, I didn't mean literally. I meant I was asleep for most
I know
of
you
the
weren't
day.
like passed out, but like what
I
happened?
mean, I woke up. No, I mean, it's been my leg. Late last night, I realized that I shouldn't. That it didn't look good, and so I was going to try to go to the doctor today, so I didn't go to work. So I woke up early, though, so I could call my doctor, and then they had to call me back, so I couldn't really fall back asleep, and then eventually they called me back, and I got my appointment.
So yeah, just like a lot of running around and stuff and figuring things out. Wait, Sienna, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Sienna, you cut off again. Oh, I heard your
Can you hear me now? How about now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. So, I mean, I can't do any running around.
Right. And yeah.
I literally, like, I got up from my bed and moved into my parents' bed because they have one of those, like, their bed kind of like, you can lift your feet and your back. Like.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I laid in there and.
Is it your left or your right leg?
My right. Ooh. I mean, my left also got scraped up, but it was mainly my right.
Are you good to drive tomorrow?
Yeah, I've been driving.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I feel like
Sienna, does this
driving
mean that
over hiking is probably,
True, but if you don't even want to move from a bed, like, I don't know.
Oh, I just don't want to move because it's annoying.
Okay. You say so.
So does this mean that your scuba lessons are on hold, or at least like the physical stuff for the scuba lessons are on hold in the meantime?
Well, I mean, I'm going to the doctor. I've only had 2 classes a week, so I didn't go on Tuesday, and that's when we're in the pool. Thursday was our test in the classroom. So I have my appointment on Monday, so I can find out from my doctor on Monday if I can do my last physical class on Tuesday.
Okay.
But if not, they probably will be able to, like reschedule me, have me come in during another class or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's good. You gotta let me know once you're officially certified. I want to go scuba diving.
What's your highest certification?
I have my rescue cert.
Okay, I was thinking of also getting up to my rescue cert.
Yeah.
Crackety Jones!
Crackety Jones!
Oh, I'm frozen on a great face again.
What's up, Crackety? I was gonna say Crackety Cracks. We already got a Cracks. And that would get confusing.
We've got Crackety and Cracks.
Correct.
Yeah, we're rescue certification. Yeah. Like we can like save your life and stuff. I mean, technically my CPR certification has ran out, but like I've been CPR certified for like 10 years before it ran out, so like I know what to do.
I'm CPR and first aid certified.
Hey.
I should not be trusted to save anyone's life unless it's somehow a mathematical emergency.
Okay. So like a
Quick,
migraine?
Rebecca, we need you to solve this math problem. Sorry.
Like a migraine,
arithmetic
Rebecca.
problem.
Don't ask. No. Do not ask me to solve an
To avoid
arithmetic
the
problem.
problem going on.
Can I use dark on fighting? I'm gonna about to find out. Cool. It's not
Okay.
ineffective.
I'm so bad at what is weak to what.
Yeah, I mean, there is a degree of it doesn't necessarily make sense every time. It's like some of them are obvious, like, oh yeah, it makes sense that electricity versus water would,
Yeah.
and like it makes sense that
Water beats
water
fire,
beats fire,
beats
fire.
grass.
Like those three make sense.
Yeah.
But like a lot of them are just pure memorization because it's like why does what is it ground versus rock or rock versus ground? One of those is strong. I don't remember. Like
poison and steel are super effective against fairy. It's like what?
Well, that actually makes sense because fairies. Part of the lore of the Fae is that they are allergic to iron.
Yeah.
So, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Huh? Learn something new every day.
Yeah. It. If you read books here, I'm just gonna go on a very short rant about books about Fae lore and stuff. Like if you're reading like a young adult novel that's like that involves the Fae, you know how young adult books tend to just pick and choose whatever lore they want. But when it comes to Fae books, I've never enjoyed one that I've read. I've read multiple of them, and they always there's some sort of weird surrealist thing going on, and I guess it gets back to my feelings on magic systems and stuff once again. But like some of the rules are just weird. Like the iron thing. Some of them they do that, some of them they don't. But it's like, yeah, they're supposed to be allergic to iron. There's a thing about like if you know their true name, they're basically Rumpelstiltskin. Like, and like
yeah, it's all about names and stuff.
Wait, Kate's here?
Yeah, Kate just arrived. I thought you were wearing a neck brace the way your water bottle is.
Oh, that's why you were late?
Yes, I broke my neck.
Yeah, and you still got here. Impressive.
Wow,
that's dedication.
You're committed.
Well, you must not have broken it that bad then.
But yeah, so I can't remember other lore, but there's just like all these random rules to fairy lore that's in so many of these books that like I just don't care. But like also they always just the way they pick and choose them, it's just weird. And who came up with this stuff? It reminds me of the time that Kate and I. Oh my god, my camera froze again.
Oh, so Kate, basically what you had missed. So our AOB, which was a Kakuna, evolved into Beedrill. We caught an Oddish and we named it Violence.
Okay.
It looked like a little goth Oddish, so we were like, what's a goth name? And I was like, Violet. And then we were like, yeah, but what about, and someone said Violent. And so we went with Violence.
We also made it to, what's it called? Vermilion City.
Ooh.
It's green.
So we like completely skipped over. So we went from Cerulean City to Vermilion, and we completely skipped over the one in the middle. Hold on, I'm getting there. Oh, it's the one in the middle.
Well, there is no middle. You can't get there from here.
Okay, so the one between Cerulean and where I am, that city. I think it's Saffron?
Probably.
But yeah. And we haven't had anybody else die yet, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And that's why we're grinding, because I was having trouble on that route, and we're about to go on a cruise ship to fight some more trainers, and we need to grind and get everybody up to speed.
You also missed my very long tirade about the cleaning company and how much I'm the cleaning company for my old apartment and
Yes.
all of that fun stuff and how I want to yell at people a lot. And my anime corner of the season.
Of course.
It was quite the saga, yes, Crux. But yeah. So I'm reading a book right now, right? The reason I'm not reading a manga right now is because I'm reading a book, and my plan was to switch between book manga. That way I'll read a full 100 chapter manga probably, and then a book. That way, and I force myself to read the book, that way I actually get through books because I have not been reading books. And so I'm reading a book right now instead of a manga. And so this book is, I like the concept of it. It's called Zodiac. And so,
Interesting.
Yeah. And so it's about this planetary system where each of the different planets is a different house of the zodiac, and so each planet has a different, they have different resources, different culture and all of that. The planets are more like countries than planets, I guess, because they're all like a monoculture in that way. And it's about this girl who becomes the leader of the planet of Cancer because there's this big disaster that occurs, and their original leader died, and she's chosen as the new leader because all of the leaders of the planets are the ones who can basically use the stars to predict the future, and they all most people can train to predict the future, but she can do it in a really crazy, more accurate way without using the technology that is usually used for this stuff and blah blah blah. So that's why she's chosen, is because she's clearly shown that she has this potential to be a great diviner or whatever. And so she becomes the ruler, not necessarily ruler, but the divine advisor of the planet. But she sees this omen in the sky that basically she had seen this omen before this great disaster befell her planet, and so she's she sees it again, and I'm frozen again. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Hold on. Someday I'm gonna accidentally unplug the wrong plug, and then everything's just gonna turn off, and I'm just.
You're yellow
now.
now.
I know. Sometimes my camera needs to adjust,
Guys,
and so
wait,
I'm green for a while.
Oh!
We're gloomy now.
I didn't even realize that was happening.
Violence has grown up!
Guys, violence evolved into gloom.
Violence! Oh.
That happened so fast. I didn't even have time
has
to
evolved into gloom.
Yeah, also a great sentence.
I didn't even realize it was supposed to be right then. But yeah, dang, that happened so fast. I didn't even have time to take it off and fast forward.
Oh.
So anyway, in this book,
So fast.
so this girl, she sees this omen again, it's she sees it go this dark shadow on several of the other planets in the galaxy and stuff, and so she's I need to warn them that something bad is going to happen, but no one else sees this omen, right? And she sees this darkness in the sky around where this area where she does some research and realizes
I forgot that he's poisoned.
Supposed to be the 13th house of the zodiac, the what's it called, Ophiuchus. But Ophiuchus doesn't exist. Ophiuchus is a legend, and everyone's just there is no Ophiuchus. You're crazy. That's just a children's story, basically. And she's the whole time, everyone just keeps basically saying she just doesn't know what she's talking about, and it's you literally chose her because she can read the stars better than everyone else. So it's really annoying that all of her advisors don't believe her. She picks there's this guy so she's 16, right, at this time, and there's this guy that she's known since she met in quotes, but really she had just watched him from afar when she was 12 or something, and he's 26, or not 26, sorry, he's 6 years older than her, so what would that be? 22. So he's 22, and so he is he's graduated from the College of the Astrologers or something, and is an advisor to the leader of the country, or I mean the planet or whatever. So he's supposed to be this dude, but he's 22, so he's one of the low level ones, and so she picks him to be her advisor, her personal advisor or something, because she has a crush on him. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm like, he's 22. Please do not do a romance here. Please. I am so grossed out.
They're definitely gonna do a romance.
And I'm like, I'm not okay with this. So.
And how old is? Oh, wait,
16.
how old's the other person? Is
16. Yeah. So okay, but just bear with me here. So yeah. So like the whole time there's like this creepy tension between them, where she's just like, basically he keeps belittling her though, like the whole time. It's like clear that he doesn't believe her, and at one point she like literally says to him, she's like, I finally figured it out, you think you should have been the leader. And it's like, again, I don't know where that came from. That was a very much telling not showing thing, because I didn't get that at all. I just got that he doesn't trust you. But she keeps saying like, he doesn't trust me, and it's like, how can I'm stuck because I like him, but he clearly doesn't trust in my abilities, but I picked him to be my advisor. I'm like, yeah, you picked him to be your advisor because you knew him, I guess, kinda. The first time you ever spoke to him was that day, was that day basically, but you had been watching him from afar, having a crush on him since you were 12. But anyway, but he just keeps like, he's just like, I believe that you believe that this is what's happening, and she's just like, that's not helpful. And I'm just like so annoyed by every one of her advisors is like that, or they're more annoyed. And I'm just like, I get, like, yeah, sometimes I enjoy reading a book where it's like, yeah, like, show them you were right. Like, everybody's looking down on you and you're gonna prove yourself and stuff, but it's just like, it doesn't make sense why these people don't believe her. Like, my suspension of disbelief is gone at this point, because I'm just like, they picked you to be the leader because you passed all of their tests and showed that you were a better diviner than anyone else. So why do they suddenly are like, no, you're wrong. Even though we picked you, you're just 16, so you don't know anything. But anyway,
I don't love a trope like that where it's like, no one believes you. It's like, okay.
It's like, well then fine, crash and burn.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it wouldn't hurt for you to even to
This
humor
is how you become a villain.
Like, yeah, exactly. And so she basically
villain origin
she brings
story.
the guy
oh my God.
They commandeer a ship of this other dude who to go and go visit these other planets that she saw the omen for, and so she's going to go warn them that Ophiuchus is going to attack them, basically, because she has this conversation basically in her head with Ophiuchus where he threatens to kill her, and no one believes her there either. They think they just think that she's incorrect, and it's like, do you think she's crazy? Like, what? Like, do you think she's lying? Like, what kind of incorrect do you think she is? They just keep telling her this guy doesn't exist, so it's like, if you think she's crazy, then she should not be your leader anymore. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Anyway, so she goes off to these other planets, and so they commandeer the vehicle of this other guy who tags along with them, basically, and then she finds out that he is I'm gonna spoil this because I'm not actually recommending this book. I vaguely enjoy it, but like, also, we'll see how the romance goes. As in, I hope it doesn't. But so she's going to these other planets, and all the other planets, it's like they're really cool conceptually, but also it's like this author is putting in way too many things, because every planet is different in some way, and it's like, I mean, that's fine, sure, but it's like in a crazy way. So like, they go to Gemini, right? And Gemini is a planet where there's this technology that makes that it's like a dual planet. So there's two planets that like revolve or something like that, because Gemini. And
interesting.
Yeah, and it's like one planet is where all the like poor people live, basically, and they do all this like mining of stuff that then basically is used to fuel the rich people's money or whatever, and it's just like, you have all this technology and you're still dealing with poverty and all that, but okay. Anyway, but the rich people then have the technology.
Capitalism.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, aren't we over this? Like, come on. But anyway, the rich people have the technology to be essentially almost immortal or something. Like, they just keep like making themselves young, but in that they don't make themselves stay like in their 20s looking. They make themselves look like children. So they go to this planet and it's just everyone's running around like children in imaginariums. Like, they're just like, they're wearing like these goggles or something. Like, they're basically in like some sort of...
I don't like that.
Exactly. They're like in some sort of like virtual reality situation, and they all look like children.
So
even
weird.
The leaders of the planets look like twin children, and it's just like, but why though? What possible they're like 300 years old and children. I'm just like, for what purpose? Why wouldn't you want to stay looking 20? Why do you want to look like an actual child? It's supposed to reflect like Gemini being this imaginative thing. Like, I guess I don't know the zodiac that well, so I don't know, but they're supposed to be imaginative. Children are imaginative, so I guess that's the idea. But it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, there's no reason for them to be children. Why wouldn't they stay young but also adults? Like, I don't get it. But
it is very weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
And then so then they go to the planet of Libra, where this other guy is from, and Libra is supposed to be, you know, the planet of justice, but they're apparently the planet of literally everything, because this planet just has they just keep stacking on more what's it called, features to it, where they are the planet, they're supposed to be the best hosts, like hospitality. They're all about hospitality, and then they're all about technology, and then they're all about like innovation. It's like, innovation's supposed to be Scorpio, but nope, it's Libra too. And like, so
I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Scorpio.
And it's just like, they don't have one unifying thing, and then they have this weird technology where like I don't know, they get there and then they have to get on this like weird vehicle thing where they like grab this this is just a really short thing that really bugged me, but like they grabbed it onto this handheld thing and it just shoots up in the air and brings them to another town or something. So it's like but it never explains how they don't just fall off, because part of it is when you get where you're trying to go, you just let go, and it's like, but how are you holding on the whole time? Because the main character is afraid she's gonna fall, and so I'm just like, well, how are you just doing a one-armed like holding yourself as you're zooming through the air then? Are you going to explain that there's some sort of weird gravitational thing that, you know, locks your arm in place? No, it's just, they're just hanging there. So it's like, the technology doesn't even make sense. It's not well thought out. Why is this how the vehicle system? Why wouldn't it be literally anything else? Like, I don't understand. Anyway, so then she finds out that the guy that she'd been traveling with, who, not her advisor, but like the guy they commandeered the vehicle from, who is who basically builds robots and stuff, is actually the leader of that planet. So that's the big spoiler here, is he's the leader of that planet. And so they're not allowed to have a romantic relationship because they're both leaders of planets, and there's like a law about that. And
yes.
And so she had been starting to like have mixed feelings towards both of them, and so she was all confused, and then so she finds out, I'm not supposed to have feelings for him, and then finally her advisor guy, in the last chapter I read, the advisor guy basically just said to her, you know what your problem is that I'm too old and he's off limits. And I was just like, finally someone said it. Like, they're acknowledging that he's too old. Oh my god. But then why were you so smitten by her earlier in the book? Because, like, they talked about her, like, wearing this really sexy black outfit, like, in... basically, in, like, to this...
I don't like that.
Thing, and, like, he, like, looked at her for a while, and she was, like, flattered. It's like... Okay, maybe you shouldn't have then. If you know you're too old, like, let's not. It was just, yeah.
This has all happened in one book that you haven't even finished?
I'm like halfway through the book, and it's a four-part, it's a quadrilogy. So.
But what more could there be to this story? That sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, I mean, well, they haven't even gotten to whatever war is probably going to happen with this 13th house situation. Like, the actual plot hasn't happened yet. She's just going and warning the planets. And now she just got to another planet. I forget what planet she's on. I think Virgo now, which is all about grain for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, she just got to Virgo. So, we're going on a tour of all the planets. It's a lot. It's like they're just trying to jam in as many different, like every character, to make them rounded, has like a million things going on, and it's just, it's like so unfocused. I'm just like, there's too much. Like it's like each of these individual planets could have been very cool, but we're only there for like 2 chapters, and it's just too much, and you're trying too hard here. I don't know.
Alright, so anyway, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were doing your little spiel. How are we feeling? Do we think we're ready for the S.S. Anne?
I mean, how are you feeling? You're the one in charge of that. I don't remember the level of the people in the S.S. Anne, but you are higher level than all the things you've been fighting, at least. Like,
yeah.
So I think you're probably okay.
I think we've done a lot of crunching.
You can heal on the S.S. Anne, right?
I
think
I'm not sure. I feel like you should be able to.
Yeah, no, there's like an infirmary room, I think, or something like that.
Okay, cool. I might just raise baseball up to 22 and then ready to go. Because I want baseball to evolve, and I can't remember what level it was at. And I think maybe it might have been 22, but I can't remember. Baseball is not quite at the point where like it can hold its own. Like, it can against, like, Pokemon it's super effective against, but it's not quite at that point where it can, like, hold its own against, like, other Pokemon. So I'm like, oh, if it evolves at 22, that would be great.
Yeah. And Cracks, yeah, I don't know. I decided I'm not going to draw, like, this is part of my plan, is I'm going to read a book and then read a manga. And so the only reason I haven't dropped the book is because I know that then I have to start a new book, because it's book and then manga, and I want to get to a manga. So I'm going to finish this book so that I can read my manga. It's the only thing that is convincing me to continue the book, is so that because I have made a rule for myself.
Evolving!
Oh, sweet. Exactly, it is my carrot.
Why does it look like that?
Oh, I hate that. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Why would that be its sprite? I don't understand.
What did I just come back
to? Nothing good.
Baseball evolved. Look.
It's been so long.
Holy
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
So weird.
Why does it look like that?
I'm glad they fixed that in later generations, because I don't remember that. But no wonder.
Why does Golbat look like that?
No wonder I never raised a Golbat back then.
Oh my god, I need some water. This is too fucking funny.
I don't like that.
Alright, so let's go through our team really quick. We got Baseball, our Golbat, who is poison and flying.
Number 2,
we got Violence, our Glue, which is poison and grass. Got AOB, which is Beedrill, which is poison and flying. Damn, we got a lot of poison types.
Yeah.
Riru, our flying and normal. Okay, it's like flying types and poison types. Yeah.
I always like me a poison type.
Remy, who's normal, but he's a badass. Remy can hold his own. And then Birdie San, who's fire. Yeah, I'm ready. Organize y'all a little bit. Also, I love Crobat. Crobat, I know you can't get it in this game, unfortunately, but Crobat is so good. And, like, everybody always rats on Zubat. Like, everybody hates Zubat. And, like, I can get that they could be kind of annoying, but I love, like, catching Zubat and then evolving it all the way to Crobat. Because Crobat is just so good.
Is it? I've never...
Yeah, Remy runs a whole restaurant. Of course he can hold his own. Remy is probably, like, the most powerful attacker that we have at the moment. Like, Raticate like, I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of, like, the normal types or whatever, but Raticate is actually, like, really good. It's very fast, and it does have high attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got some more super potions, I think. Maybe, can I get more? I want to make sure I'm not... Okay, yeah. Okay, we should be good. Yeah, Hyper is obnoxiously strong. It's nice when it's obnoxiously strong and you're using it.
Mm.
Oh wait, Kate, did you see Violence when it was in Oddish?
Yeah, you showed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was here right before it evolved.
We were so excited. Oddish is so cute.
Bloom, slightly less so.
Yeah. But Vileplume is great.
Like
Socialism flashed the SS ticket.
Alright then.
Guys, we're going on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise. Have you guys been on a cruise?
Yeah, I went on a cruise right before my mono kicked in.
Oh.
I went on a cruise twice, and yes, Shannon, I actually know because I was on a cruise at the same time you were on a cruise, and I was like wondering if like any cruise ships I saw by if you were on.
That would be fantastic. Oh my god, why is there so much? This is so big.
So you guys were ships passing in the night.
Dear God.
Alright then.
Guys, I want to go on a group cruise. That would be so much fun.
I really want to go
right now.
on a cruise up to like they do ones up to Canada, and you go along the New England.
Yeah, that I might do. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been super interested in a cruise. Like, I feel, I don't know. They're just, I don't know. I think
I like them because I'm a lazy vacationer. Like, if I go on vacation, I don't, unless I'm going to Disney World. Like, I don't want to do 1,000 things a day.
Oh, I don't like to do things either, Kate. I don't. Like, literally, my last cruise we went on, my parents and I had access to, like, the spa area. We just went up there and read every day.
Like, it's so much easier, I feel like, on a cruise ship to do your own thing and still, like, meet up.
To not use all of the things. Like, the reason it's so expensive is because of the bells and whistles, so I wouldn't want to pay for it if I wasn't going to use all the things. You know?
I mean,
but that depends on what bells and whistles you're talking about. Like,
yeah, when I went on a cruise, I was with my parents, and I wasn't like 21 at the time.
Trax,
so
you can come and be a stowaway.
But I would love to like go with friends, and like we could just do fun stuff and chill, and like go drink on the cruise ship and all that fun stuff.
It's like a nice way to be contained. I feel like.
Yeah.
People can do what they want to do without being too far away from each other. So it's easier to like,
that's true.
Like get reconvene.
Yeah, it's true. It's not like you have to drive elsewhere and whatnot. But
there's so much eating to be done on a cruise, though.
And
you have to be like ready to eat.
The last cruise I went on, I signed up for 2 TRX classes and like sunset yogas. Yeah. I worked out on my last cruise.
No, thank you.
Nice.
I feel like I would get sick trying to work out on a cruise.
With the amount of food.
True.
The only workout I'm getting on a cruise is like maybe swimming or something, but not like working out.
It was kind of fun. I don't know. Apparently, I had more energy back then.
Yeah, didn't we all?
I mean,
honestly,
same.
Probably.
And more motivation, I guess.
Yeah, those were the days.
I mean, honestly, yeah, same. Yeah.
I also like going on a cruise for the excursions whenever you get to your destination.
I love that on the islands. There's so much. I got to swim with stingrays and sea lions. That was so much fun.
That's where I went scuba diving the first time. It was an excursion. Really? We only went down like. It was like really minimal. It was whatever you can do in like a day, where they teach you for like an hour, and then They're just like, all right, yeah, here's a scuba gear. Get in the water.
Oh, good. That's safe.
I wouldn't trust that.
No, it was actually fine. It was like a PADI certified thing.
Mhm.
It was a legitimate thing.
Let's do sea powder.
I think we went to Bermuda, the first cruise I went on, the long cruise I went on. We did you kayaked out into the ocean or whatever, which was fine because I don't mind kayaking. And then everyone else did another excursion, and I was like, fuck it. And I napped on the boat.
That sounds like you.
And just wandered around and ate.
Oh yeah, the ice cream. So much ice cream.
No,
I
we
ate
didn't go to
so
Jamaica.
much ice cream. Yeah,
Or the Bahamas.
I want to go on a cruise with friends and not my family. No offense to my family, but it'll be so much more fun with friends.
Yeah.
My cousin did a weekend wedding for her. A weekend cruise for her wedding.
Her wedding was on the cruise?
We were sophomores. Yeah, it was both of their second weddings. So they decided to get married on a cruise. It literally just went out into the Atlantic Ocean and turned back around.
Oh.
It didn't dock anywhere.
Oh, so one of
Oh,
those...
it was like a day cruise.
It was, remember sophomore year, Valentine's Day weekend, when you guys decorated my room with Shrek stuff?
Oh, right, yes, I definitely remember that.
That was where I was. I was on that cruise.
That was so funny.
It's 2 days.
Oh, got it.
But it was a way for everyone to be together without it being full destination and
Makes sense.
That's kind of cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Not nearly as expensive for everyone, I'm guessing.
No, definitely not.
So.
Wait, whoa. What did that Wigglytuff just say?
Poop, poo, poo.
Boop, boop, boop.
Alright, good. Just wanted it acknowledged.
I know in the recent games they made Pikachu actually say his own name, but I wish they could do that for all the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because I don't like hearing the as
yeah,
they're that's so weird. You pup? What?
You pup?
Pup.
He's calling
That's
you a
so
dog.
weird.
What'd you call me?
He called a pup.
That's what, that's what a gentleman would say. Gentlemen always call, the youngins pups.
Taste my violence.
Dear
So
God.
weird. Alright, who to send out?
So I want
to send out baseball.
You are forcing yourself to read a singular book. I am actively reading 3 books at the same time.
God, I remember that life. I used to do that back in middle
I
school.
thought about doing
It's been
that.
a long time. So.
They're all varying, they're actually all different genres right now. I have on my desk book is my 800-page high fantasy book. Yeah. Which I'm on page 300 something. So slow and steady. I'm making it through. My gym book is Pine, which is a gothic horror set in the Scottish Highlands.
That sounds cool.
My friend Caroline
when you're done?
is currently living in Scotland doing her master's degree.
Right, yeah.
Awesome.
And she posted about it, and I was like, oh, I'll read that. And I was messaging her the other day. I was like, I read it at the gym a lot of times at night. And she was like, oh, I can't believe you read it at night. That's bold.
So it's
and I was
real,
yeah.
It's scary then?
So the basic, I'm 8 or 9 chapters into it. Basically, in the first chapter, this girl, she's I don't know, I want to say 10, and her and her dad are driving home on Halloween, and it takes place in modern-ish day. I don't know. It was written in the last few years, but in the Scottish Highlands, so it's very small town, but very spread out. So they're driving home, and there's a woman in the road. And the way the author describes the woman is very interesting because it's from this little girl's perspective, but it's I don't know, about how she's somewhat real and somewhat not, and just the way she describes it is interesting. But then they wake up and the dad has no memory of this woman, and the little girl's what? And so as people start interacting with the woman, they don't remember it immediately after.
Chill.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I need
I
to
do. I
find
still
books that I
so
can
far.
actually enjoy again. It's just been, it's like, I don't enjoy books. I don't know. It's so bad. I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy reading. It's just that I cannot find a book that I'm really into. Even like books by authors where I've loved their previous books or stuff.
Right.
It's not doing it for me anymore. Like I've just gotten so much more picky, I guess, or something. Like they're just. It's like I've read several okay books in the last few months, which is several more books than I've read in the last few years, honestly. But like still,
Snorlax!
I just.
I feel like I don't have enough like relaxing time to read anymore.
Yeah, I just read right before
like I
bed,
feel like
so.
But
Yeah,
see, like,
I'm trying to get into the habit of reading
before bed. I
before
don't
bed.
have the brain power to read. I want something mindless.
I've been reading.
I'm like looking at my bookshelf.
Now I'll read tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, so it's more like I go to bed like an hour early. Oh my god, I'm frozen again. I go to bed like an hour early. That way, I am still awake enough to read, and then I read until the time I would be going to sleep, which is 10:30. So like, I go to bed at like 9:30 and read for an hour, and then I try to go to sleep. And then if I wake up, like earlier than when I wake up and I don't have something to do in the morning, I'll read for an hour from 7:30 to 8:30 or something like that. And so that's when I read mostly, is like when I wake up and when I go to sleep. But like, so it's kind of like I'm making it a routine. That way I'm forced to do it in some way. But like,
maybe I'll do that too, because it'll make me. I don't know. I feel like I just need less screen time. I just feel like I need.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Like I go to sleep like with my laptop next to me because I'm like watching
yeah,
like YouTube till I go to sleep,
yeah.
and I don't like it. And I immediately go for my phone in the morning, and that usually makes me stay in bed longer than I should.
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped me have like a more of a routine. Like I think it's definitely helped. Like I was pretty good at going to bed on time, but I had gotten to a point in the more like in the last few months before I started doing this, I had gotten to a point where I was going to sleep way later than normal. Like I go to sleep at like midnight, and I know that I feel better when I go to sleep at 10:30. Like that's, or I go to bed at 10:30 because like it takes me an hour and a half to fall asleep. But like, and I'm frozen again. Oh my god. Anyway, but like, so when I started doing this, it kind of forced me to like get in a habit of I get in bed at 9:30. I turn off my light at 10:30. And so, like, sometimes it's 11 because I actually kind of get into a chapter and want to make sure and, like, want to finish the chapter or something. But, like, still, I've gotten a lot better at going to bed at this particular time, which I know is the time that I prefer, and which I used to be good at going to bed, but, like, pandemic made things all over the place and stuff. And then, like, when I wake up in the morning, it definitely does help me like get to a point of waking up without just staring at my phone, because I had been getting it where I was like on Tumblr for an hour or something in the morning, and it's just like it doesn't feel good to do that. It feels like I haven't accomplished anything with my life when I'm doing that, but if I'm reading a book I feel like I'm accomplishing something. So I definitely do.
Yeah. I've also been trying to get into the habit of reading before bed, and it's like it's hard, like, trying to, like, start a new habit, but I feel like when I have been reading before bed, like, instead of looking at my phone, I feel like it's helped with, like, getting to sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing that for a while. I was reading right before bed, and then I started reading Prior to the Orange Tree, and it was just too big to hold, like, comfortably while laying in bed.
Fair.
And I kept wanting to bring it to the gym, and I was like, that's just insane. Like, it's just too big.
And then time is like while you're running? Like, how are you?
I do, yeah, I'll like fast walk on the treadmill for like an hour.
Yeah, that does seem like a lot to bring to the gym.
I do it when like I know I'm going to be on treadmill for like an extended period of time.
We recently bought an exercise bike, and I need to actually, when my leg is not.
Yeah. You just do it one leg,
One leg.
And need to start using it. Maybe I'll read on the treadmill and stuff too. See, we have like an outdoor like swing now, and I really like reading outside.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I do
when
that
I had
at
a
my
porch,
sister's
I
house.
did like doing that like
It's
2 years
so
ago.
nice.
Because they also have one of those.
Mm.
That's very nice. I do get a little bit dizzy after a while.
Yeah, I can't. I
I-
get motion sick from swings, but I did like sitting on
See,
my
I-
like bench outside when it was like a reasonable temperature, but it was never a reasonable temperature in Virginia. So that was like I would have to get up. Like I did this one summer, like 2 years ago, where I would get up at like 7:30 and go outside and sit on my bench, and that's when it was like 70 degrees out, and so it was comfortable until like
nice.
10:30 or something when the sun hit me, and I was like, no, thank you, and would go inside. But yeah, now I don't have a porch to do that on. But
Yeah, there's nowhere nice to sit outside in my backyard. It's just sun everywhere.
See, it's
Not my
just
thing.
the only thing is that like I get bitten by mosquitoes so
Ooh.
easily,
oh, you're one of those.
and yeah,
Where I'm living now, like the backyard, there's like a porch area that's like screened in to keep the bugs
Oh,
out.
that's
So that's
nice.
really nice.
I would.
screened
That's my
porch
goal is
enough.
to have something like that because I never go outside. But if I had a screen porch, I would go outside. I hate bugs. I hate the sun. But I do want. The
Do you
breeze.
remember there was a period of time where we were joking that I should get for Quidditch tournaments the bug screen that you zip around
Yeah.
yourself? It's practice to get one of the personal screens.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
your very own personal just net around yourself. Yes, perfect.
Honestly, I need
Just
one
a
of those
beekeeper suit.
to
There
move
you go.
about
The
the world.
beekeeper suit.
There you go.
Oh my god. I keep like looking at my bookshelf, seeing if there's any recommendations that I have. I can only see half of it though. I definitely think the best book I've read as of late has been Crier's War, and then Ironheart is the sequel.
What's that about?
Those. It's about automatons.
Right.
Oh my god. I'm
All
so
right,
done
Rebecca
with
wouldn't like it.
Autonomous
I
Minds.
don't. I do like autumn.
Yeah, I don't
I
do robots,
really liked
so.
it,
I
but
like
they're
robots.
not. They're more just like enhanced humans.
Are they cyborgs
Cyborgs.
or are they were they humans?
They're cyborgs then.
They're like made. They call them made with a capital M.
No.
They're
So like
androids.
So
made by midwives. So like they look completely like
Yeah,
humans,
I
but they
hate
have like
that.
So
clockwork
that's worse.
inside.
That's worse than no, thank you. It's a hard no. For
Yeah,
me.
Rebecca absolutely hates that. It's like Westworld.
Ugh.
But like they're so I don't know.
I don't like it.
Where they look exactly like
Yeah,
it's
that's-
in.
It's,
It's impossible to tell who is human and who is not.
I mean,
Like Detroit
you can
becomes
tell.
human, or
They have
Oh,
like
well, so then it's
their
like
eyes
Detroit
are different.
yeah, no,
I don't
it's
know.
just gonna be a hard no for me. I do not enjoy that concept
no
at
one
all.
talks about Eastworld.
But I mean, like I'm not trying to convince anyone else to have that opinion. It's just like my feelings on magical realism and soft magic and all. I just don't like it. It just doesn't sit well with me. So,
Yeah,
but
I don't.
Isn't
I actually
Westworld
like-
modern though?
it's like,
No,
isn't it like I
it's
thought it was like
because-
Wild Westish, isn't it? With robots.
So okay,
or
so
with
here's
androids.
here's the premise of Westworld. It is an android company who essentially has created like this Wild West themed amusement park for the rich's enjoyment, where they can dress up like they're in the Wild West, and they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want in this town, because whether they kill an android or something, like all of the guns and stuff are fake essentially, to the point where they can only kill an android, but they can kill anyone they want, or have sex with anyone they want, or because they've got like brothels and stuff like that.
Because
And-
they're robots, so what does it matter?
And they're robots, so they just remake them and reset them.
Oh
And
dear.
it's about the robots essentially becoming sentient.
Yeah, which is just not something I enjoy.
Which
it just freaks me
I
out.
was-
No, thank
I've
you.
only seen the first season. It's so good though. See, I'm about that stuff. I'm about androids and like the whole talk of like, if it's sentient, even if it's not organic, is it life?
Yeah, I hate
And
that.
that argument.
I don't.
I
will
no
say,
idea.
if
I
you
very
know,
much enjoy it.
gun to your head, you have to pick something about automatons to consume. Crier's War is definitely very.
Oh, it's capitalism.
Like it's.
I didn't have a chance to heal.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no, capitalism. You asshole.
I mean, you have the super potions, right?
I do, yeah.
Guess you gotta use them.
Yeah. Alright, let's start out with Bernie Sad. Bernie Sad. Starting strong. At least we have a grass type Pokemon that we can use against Wartortle.
True.
Oh, Rebecca, you like 80s stuff,
Yeah.
right? Did you like Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
I read a mystery that was kind of Breakfast Club style. It's definitely like, I mean, I don't have the best taste. Like, I have pretty, if it makes me smile, then it's
I mean, you're
good.
a lot, you're a lot less picky
very,
than
like,
I am about this
Yeah,
stuff.
I really like Breakfast
But
Club.
still.
But I read, what's it called? The fuck is it called?
The Lying Game or
Let's do
something like that?
Raticate versus
Is
Raticate.
it Liars or Lying?
I
Was
could-
it one of those? 'Cause I feel
something.
like you told
Yep,
me
yep.
something. I remember you mentioning a name before. Something like that.
One of us
Oh,
is
there
lying.
you go. That's it. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that before, and I wanted to look into it.
So the author, there's One of Us Lying, and then there's a sequel, and then she has like 2 other books. And I love all of them, and then I read her newest one, and I wanted to love it, I did, but she did that incest adjacent thing,
Like,
and I was like,
Do you mean like
why?
step siblings?
No. Well, it's better than it just like for a split second hints at incest. So like basically these cousins that didn't really know each other growing up because their parents stopped speaking were invited to their grandma's estate, whatever. Not important. But the one girl like sees this guy as they're like getting on to the ferry or whatever, and she's like, "Ooh, he's kind of cute." And then he introduces himself and he's her cousin, and she's like, "Oh, fuck, gross." But it turns out it's not actually her cousin.
Okay.
For, long story short. But
Okay.
so it was like she was kind of into it and was like, "Oh, I shouldn't be into this because he's my cousin."
Oh.
But then it's like,
So
surprise,
it's
no, I'm not.
Yeah, that's annoying. It's like if
Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna do incest, then just do it. Like I don't want
like
it,
they're
but I'm
either
just saying
family or
like
they're
don't
not.
play it off like it was okay the whole time now because it was not their headspace was not okay.
But wait, guys, it was okay the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like their brain didn't know that, so it's like
it's like the opposite of a it's like the opposite of a soap opera where it's like, I was your twin cousin all along.
Oh my god.
And it's
Guys,
like,
we
plot
defeated
twist.
capitalism and we didn't lose any Pokemon in the process.
Woo!
we're strong. Anyway, but yeah, it's like okay, so I'm just gonna go on a mini rant, I promise. But like, I think Kate, you said you never watched the second half of the first season of SAO, right?
Sort of.
So in Sword Art, the second half of the first season, when he's back from the the digital world, but that's from Digimon, whatever it's called in Sword Art. What?
What were we just doing, Shannon?
We rubbed the captain's back because he
Why?
was throwing up.
Oh, that's
Good.
nice of us.
Great.
I
Okay.
guess. Anyway, so in that, basically, so he returns back to the real world and is and the girl who had been his sister for his whole life, right? Like she was raised as his sister, found out while he was in this coma that she was his cousin, and so now she's in love with him. She's in love with him. And it's like, you thought you were his sister the whole time, and it wouldn't have been okay when you were his sister. But now that you're his cousin, it's
so
cool.
weird.
And so it's like doubly weird because it's like, okay, fine. I know that incest rules are seen a little bit differently in Japan. I guess I don't really know, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
but like but
Yona
sister is still
Dawn.
not okay. Like, cousin might
Yeah,
be,
no,
but,
it's
like,
not.
sister is still not. And it's like, she was raised as his sister. She only found out she was only his cousin, like, this year. And then she's suddenly in love with him. Like, that's not how anything works. She must have had feelings for him before. She's not gonna suddenly start thinking of him as not her family anymore, because again, they're still family anyway. It was horrifying. I mean, like, I don't like SAO anyway, but that was just doubly just not okay.
Yeah. I've actually read a couple of, like, whenever I pass by a one of those free little libraries, I always take a look inside, and I've actually gotten some pretty good books out of them.
I thought you were going to say a lot of incest.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say,
No!
I've actually read a few incest books, and I was like, okay.
Good.
I mean, I've read books where they were like step-siblings, but that's more okay.
You want to talk about a popular book series that does incest well, air quotes, like, as in it really just fucking just goes all in on the incest, is City of Bones.
Really?
Game of Thrones?
I've
heard of City of Bones.
Okay, we are talking way too much about this right now.
Day, which is like Game of Thrones, you know, back then shit was wild. No one gave a fuck. But like this takes place in like Brooklyn.
Yeah, I have heard about that. I didn't,
because the author originally wrote Ginny Ron fanfic.
Oh.
And then turned it into a book. It's a nightmare.
We're talking about this topic a little too much.
Can I talk about the good books I have gotten from a free little library?
Yes.
So these are now my book recommendations. So I was reading this one series by I always want to say Stephanie Meyer, and it's not the woman who wrote Twilight. Her name is something Mayer, and she writes this series called The Lunar Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically like all of the, it's all the fairy tales, like the classic like Grimm's fairy tales, but in this new kind of futuristic setting. And so I was reading some of hers, like the first one is Cinder.
Right, yeah.
And,
okay.
And she's also a cyborg, like.
Yeah, which is, one reason I never read it.
And, I know. And I only got through 2 out of the, 5 books, and I want to still see it through. I have the 3rd book, I just haven't started it. But she wrote another book that was just a standalone book, not in a series, and it was Alice in Wonderland, essentially a prequel, because it's called Heartless, and it's basically how the
I think I've heard of
Queen of Hearts became the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, I've heard of this book.
Yeah,
I've heard of it too.
It was honestly very good, and it's so funny because it's a romance, oddly enough. But it's also really does embody the, ideology of Wonderland, of, the original, Alice in Wonderland, of just, people doing weird things, and, weird things happening, and it's just totally normal because it's Wonderland. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of also interesting to, see all the different characters, and, some of them are, you find, they're different than you'd expect, because of course they've altered them a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's just so good, and honestly, I gave it to my cousin Leah, and to read, and she also fell in love with the book, and I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is really good, right? This
I've heard a lot of good things about those series. A lot of people like them.
Yeah, this one in particular. I mean, this wasn't part of the series. It was just it wasn't actually in the same world. It just happens to also be fairy tale adjacent. But it was so good, and I got that out of a free little library at Sandy Hook.
I always peek my head in those. I've yet to find anything I did find a Christmas like rom-com. I didn't take it though, but I thought about it.
I also found at our like the swim club we belong to have a they have like just kind of like a bookshelf. It's not a free little library. It's just a bookshelf where you can like take any books or leave any books that you don't want. And I found a book there once, and it was called The School for Dangerous Girls, and it was really good. I would recommend it. I have it if anyone wants to borrow it. I don't know who it's by. I'd have to go look it up. It was again just like a standalone book, but it was pretty good. It's like about a girl who is kind of a troubled youth, and her parents. She's like accused of something that may have led to her grandfather's death.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so her
as
parents,
you do.
Yeah, and her parents like not like she murdered him, but like negligence kind of thing. And her parents sent her off to basically like a correctional school. And like, but it might not be as you know, it might be a little more. It might be a little more sinister, about like their punishment styles and things like that. And I thought it was very good. It was a very good read.
I read. I'm just going back in time. Are you sorry?
I will always just recommend the Parasitology series. I know that it's not going to sound like a book that I don't know a lot of people that will want to read.
Wait, I think I've heard of that.
That's the one she gets the quotes from for our D&D.
That's why.
Oh.
It's where I get the "Don't go out alone" quotes. And
what is Parasitology about again?
So it's about this girl who. So it's based in the future, not that far into the future. It's like 2027,
Not good.
Which makes it scary. It's actually like it's one of those books where you kind of could see it happening, and there's this pharmaceutical company essentially, or this biotech company, that has basically engineered a tapeworm that will basically secrete different hormones and will help people, like, so they don't allergies don't exist anymore. Like there are ones that just secrete insulin, so like if you have diabetes and things like that, it's like basically everyone has one because it's the they call it their tagline is intestinal bodyguard. And
intestinal bodyguard.
And the main character is a girl named Sal, who was declared essentially brain dead, but was on life support after a car crash. Mm-hmm. And her parents and her family was just about to kind of decide whether or not they wanted to like pull the plug, like if they were. And she woke up, but she had complete amnesia and had no skills of like how to take care of herself, had to like learn how to speak and eat and write and read again, and didn't remember any of her family, had to relearn them. And basically they counted up the success of the fact that she was essentially brought back to life with the fact that her intestinal bodyguard, her tapeworm, was what was able to jolt her back to life. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then it starts, and then this outbreak called the sleepwalking sickness comes out, and it's basically people start to kind of go a little zombie mode. They like secrete hormones.
It's not a great word. I agree.
It's not a great word, but there's really no other word for it. I also love that you didn't know how to spell secrete, Kate.
Secret with 2 E's.
It's a word I actively avoid using.
Secret.
Secret. Secret.
I got one I didn't even get any letters wrong. I just misplaced one.
But and then these people who are exhibiting the sleepwalking sickness, basically they just kind of go glassy-eyed and essentially like a bit catatonic, and if it goes too far, they start to try to eat people.
Oh.
You know.
Oh.
So it goes a little zombie-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that they find out that the reason is because people's intestinal bodyguards are trying to take over the bodies that they are in.
Right there. I had a guess.
They're no longer bodyguarding.
So, I'm gonna take a guess here. Is her the one who woke up and all of that? Is she the parasite?
She is a chimera, which is basically her intestinal bodyguard did it right though, because the original girl was already dead, and then to have her own survival, wormed her way into the original girl's brain and woke up as Sal.
Whoa.
And
yeah, that's on a level with like.
It's like, I have to say though, as somebody who loves the like nitty gritty world of ecology and like parasitism and the inner workings of like how they interact with an ecosystem, it's so freaking fascinating. Because there are other people like her too, except they were engineered. They like were purposefully made. She's the first natural chimera, and like, and so they're trying to be like the ones that are coherent and not friendly, are kind of like, well, I mean, mankind made us. It's only right that we take their place.
Lovely.
I'm not saying it's correct, but
yeah, it's a little existentially horrifying. Yeah. It's not unlike Robot Uprising, so it probably isn't my kind of thing.
No, it's not.
So
it's not unlike Robot Uprising. It is pretty much kind of like that, also mixed in with a bit of zombie aspect.
Yeah. I see why you like it. I also see why it wouldn't be for me.
Yeah, and just also throwing in that pharmaceutical biotech companies are just in it for the money.
Sure, yeah. I mean, pharmaceutical. You weren't in the room, but I went off on how one of my favorite mangas is all about really, really old-fashioned apothecary stuff. And
cool.
I'm just gonna very quick say this again. The Apothecary Diaries, one of my top 10 manga for sure. Love that manga so much. Cool. It's about a girl who grew up raised by an apothecary. It knows all this stuff about, tinctures and stuff, and has basically done the whole Dread Pirate Roberts thing of making herself making herself immune to most poisons, and she works in a palace, and they keep coming to her to ask her to solve various mysteries that relate to assassination attempts and stuff, because she knows all about these plants and stuff. And
that sounds so cool.
It's one of my absolute favorite manga.
What's it called? The Apothecary Diaries?
Yeah.
Okay. I will have to read that one.
Definitely.
Rebecca, I figured out
it's only 30 some chapters now, so it's not that long either. Might be at 40 now, so it's not one of my insanely long ones. So, I highly recommend. Now what?
I think I figured out the issue with the the sun spore and sea or whatever that. Yeah, so it just says that it doesn't affect it when it fails. But it doesn't mean that it just doesn't work. It works. It's just
that makes sense. I see. That does make sense.
It's it said that because I used one of those moves on a Pokemon and it worked, and then I used it on another of the same type and it didn't. So I was like, great.
I see. Also, yeah, it is since it's 9:30. If you wanna, if there's anything you wanna do, just finish with this guy or something, and we can.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much done with the ship, sweet. So we can finish up the ship and
sweet. Okay, that sounds cool. yeah, but
Machop is so cute.
It looks so weird.
Its little pose and its eyes. Sienna, I have a
its
book on my
legs don't look normal
Oh, shoot.
either, but
that I think you would really like. I mean, I have to read it, so we'll see if it's
Oh,
good.
I
It's
should've
called
used-
Malice. It's a sapphic retelling of Maleficent. I've heard many good things about
boy,
it.
I
oh,
guess
I also
that
just thought of a
heart
book
that-
you might like.
But apparently my heart wants to read it.
What?
Well, whenever I buy it, you can read
I
it.
just thought of a.
Well, I mean, you can read it first and tell me how it is.
But speaking of old medical technique stuff, I read this book. This was a while ago, but I recommended it to Christine, and she read it and liked it. So, but it's called A Madness So Discreet, and it's about this girl who is sent to it's like turn of the 20th century, I think, is when it takes place. It might be earlier than that, but like, so it's late 1800s or something in that realm. Anyway, she's sent to an asylum because of something, because she's a woman, and like there's reasons, but I don't want to spoil the reasons because I actually want you to read this book. But anyway, she's sent to the asylum. She's not actually crazy, and so she's actually like really smart and stuff, and so she like forms this bond with this guy, with this doctor guy who decides to like take her elsewhere and ask her to like help him solve like cases and stuff because she's really smart, but she still like has to be in this asylum. She's like under his care and stuff, and so it like goes through some of the just really bad things that happen in like asylums back then and stuff, but it's also like really interesting some of the medical stuff it talks about and stuff, and I thought it was a very interesting read, and the mystery was cool too, and yeah.
Oh, Christine did tell me about this, because as you were saying that, I was like, this sounds very familiar to me.
I enjoyed it. I read this years ago, but it was very good. Back when I could read books that I liked, that I could find.
Back when I could read.
Yeah. Back when I could find books that I enjoyed,
Did you read Leah Bardugo's other book,
Probably.
The Ninth
Yeah,
House?
I own it.
Is it good?
It's not
I've
as
heard
good as
mixed
it's
things.
not as good as Six of Crows, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was it was good. I enjoyed it, but I just like her writing style, so I'm a little so I really like her in general. But yes, it's much better than her like early books. So yeah, I would. But if you don't want to buy it, I can let you borrow it if you're curious. Because again, I own it. So
True. I might borrow that one. Because, like, I've heard good things, but I've heard not so good things.
Yeah, I can see why people would. I think it's one of those books that could go either way. So.
If anyone wants to read Parasite, I've got those books.
I'll watch the anime Parasite. How's that?
I'll do none of them. I will
say the parasitology. Yeah, it cracks. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I give it to you, but if we ever meet, you can have it. I mean, I want it back, but because I like the books. But it's super good. It's like a Michael Crichton book. So if anybody else likes Jurassic Park for the kind of, I don't know, the kind of like actual, like they use real science in it to make science fiction.
That's cool.
And that's my,
I like that in my manga. So, like Dr. Stone, The Apothecary Diaries, Cells at Work, like those are great science fiction. Well, Cells at Work.
No, I enjoy science fiction because I enjoy true science fiction that uses real science to create things of fiction. I just think it really speaks to my soul.
You should read Dr. Stone then. Because that's
soul.
all that is, basically.
All right.
It's one of my other. No, you should watch it actually because it's. But like if you.
And also the main character is just very lovable because when you first read it, of my Sal of my series because she doesn't know what she is, so she was raised thinking she was a human, or I mean essentially raised thinking she was a human, so she. And like her fiance is a human, and it's not like she's all like tapeworms first,
Yeah.
And so it's like that ethical conundrum that she's going through as well as
Thank you. But
the world. All right, I'll stop talking about it now.
Well, you don't have to stop. It's just like it's not. But it sounds very interesting. It's just one of those things that just does not work.
I know that it's probably not interesting to you.
I'm not saying it's not interesting. That's not what I'm getting at. I find that a very interesting topic. It just doesn't. It makes me feel anxious thinking about it.
I get that, and that's okay. I was just more so saying it for the outside world.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I didn't think that it would be up Kate's alley. I didn't know if you'd really want to read about tapeworms in people's suits.
That also is a little horrifying, yeah. But
it is, and they do talk about it. Right. They do talk about the fact that she's like, yeah, sometimes I forget I'm just a tapeworm driving a meat suit.
Oh god, that's the worst.
And it's kind of funny because you're like, yeah, you are, girl.
Yeah. Huh.
But
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's been a very productive Pokemon session. We got to a new city, we caught a new Pokemon, we evolved a bunch of Pokemon, we beat our rival again.
Capitalism! Again!
Yeah, we beat capitalism again without losing anybody in the process.
Yes. Finally, where socialism is starting to prevail.
Coming out on top.
Alright, well...
Gotta work back.
Yeah, so with that, good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again next Friday. We should be mostly back to normal. Actually, I can't promise we're back to normal. I don't know what our schedule's gonna be in the near future.
Well, I guess we'll be doing D&D next week.
So, but anyway.
So we'll be going to Dormishire.
Mm-hmm.
Woo woo!
Estrella is
Shannon's
so
excited. Zahara not so much.
Yeah.
Alright. Night.
We'll figure out those implications later.
Night, y'all.